The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association presents Ohio County Fair Racing. Ohio County Fair Racing is presented by the Ohio State University Veterinary Medical Center, Big D Tack and Vet Supply, Cool Winds Farms, thestable.ca, and Midland Acres. Now let's go trackside for all the action.
And welcome, racing fans, to Allen County Fair in Lima, Ohio. Good evening, racing fans. I'm Tom Pye, the harness guy. I'm here with Matt Clark, our super #1 technician. The man with the good aim, the good focus. He stays focused. Tonight at Lima, we have 10 races. We have 3 divisions of 3-year-old colt paces, 2 divisions of colt trotters, and two divisions of 2-year-old filly paces, and 2 divisions of 3-year-old filly trotters. A nice mixture. We also have the Dunlop Renner Memorial on the 10th race, which might result in a new track record.
Speaking of that, it's a possibility. From last year to this year, track condition-wise, there was a lot of buzz about it even last night down in Greenville, how deep this track was and loose last year. It is light years better than it was last year. I mean, Jay Wolf and I kind of joked around last year walking across it just the one time. It felt like we were blowing like we went a 56 mile or something. I mean, it was heavy and loose and awful. So, I mean, they have put in a ton of work. We actually have a list of names that we can get into later. Some of the guys that did some of the track maintenance here in the last few weeks trying to get it tightened up.
Absolutely. It looks good. The horses have a little sound to them, which is what you want. You want a nice cushion, you want a little sound. And Doug Ballinger, Mr. 50 years. You don't look a day.
Well, 54, but 50 at Greenville.
Oh, wow.
54, but 50 at Greenville.
Do you think it'll...
And 50 at Urbana.
Wow. That's good. Do you think it'll be permanent?
Yeah, I'd say you got the job by now.
I agreed. I wanted to sign another contract for another 50 years.
I'm at the age I don't buy ripe bananas, green bananas. That's what it is. Something of it. But yeah,
I'm going to be with you for the first 2 races. Hall of Fame announcer Roger Houston came to my house in Salina this afternoon, and we headed this way. He has never called races here at Allen County Fair. This will be his 159th venue that he has called races at. So I'm sure a lot of these people out there have heard of Roger Houston.
Oh, absolutely. As soon as you hear his voice, you know it's Roger Houston. We're coming out for the first race here at Lima. This is famous since 1851.
This is where I called my very first race.
Is it really?
In June of 1970. And then I went about 2 weeks later and called some qualifiers at South, and that's where Roger heard me. But came here with some friends from our fairground. I wanted to be an announcer because I'd heard of Roger the year before. Got that tape and would go over it and over it. But I came here, and the announcer was just a radio station guy. And so a guy by the name of Ralph Beckstead took me across. Dave McLean was head of the races. It was a Lima Trotting Club, and the guy called about the first 2, and then I started a call, and I called the rest of the program. But right here is where I called my very first race in June of 1970.
That's 53 years ago.
Actually 54, because you've got to add the year. So,
well, don't ask me about mathematics. I don't even know how to bet.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, 54.
But no, the track looks great. They score 8 wide here. Very nice track.
Now, is this track patterned after Delaware?
Boy, it sure looks like it, doesn't it?
I think it might be.
The big Big
vice
turns,
versa.
nice turns, short stretch.
Yeah, of course, we have tonight we have our entertainment, and this is a new singer. His name, let me fumble, is
Caleb Berkey, maybe.
Caleb Berkey.
Yeah.
He's been performing for 15 years and at a church, and he's a graduate of Allen East. He grew up in Allen County and enjoyed listening to Alan Siebert play music between harness races at the Allen County Fair. He now resides in Kenton, Ohio, and he's the pastor of the Church of the Nazarene, which is, this is good. We get our music and religion all at the same time.
Yeah. But just a quarter of a mile away here, I don't know my directions, but off to our right. So what way are we facing, would you guess?
That's east over
That's
there.
east. I was going to guess east. So if we're facing east, it would be off to our south would be Steiner Stock Farm, just a mile away.
Yes.
And then you have Cool Wind Farms right down the road about 3 miles. I was talking to Randy Haynes just a few minutes ago, and I think Randy Haynes is working the track as we speak.
Both him and Kim, hands-on owners, and they do a great job out at the Cool Wind Farms of Lima, Ohio. But Steiner Stock Farm, I was one of the first times here in Allen County and at Lima. I stopped. I saw some beautiful horses out there, and I copied down a couple of tattoo numbers to look up who they were, and they're kind of nice animals they were.
But I can remember, I think I did the fair here in 70 then or 71. I did the fair for about 4 years till Roger left Greenville when he went to the Meadows, and then I went to Greenville because it was more sessions, and I've been back here probably 10 years now, the way it works out. But I was so excited, called a 2-minute mile by my former employer, Irv Samples, who I was working for back then, a horse by the name of Absalom. 2 minutes.
Absalom.
That's nothing now at a county fair.
Oh, yeah, that is a big mile.
That was a big mile back then.
I go back, I remember when I lived in Jersey for 5 years, and I think it was 1970, Freehold had their first 2-minute mile. And now, of course, 2-minute miles are as common as eyebrows.
Oh.
At the,
if you have a 2-minute mile Scioto Downs, there's something wrong. You might see it on a Tuesday or Wednesday, a 2-year-old trotter.
I got a listing of the fastest miles in the country, etc. And the two-year-old pacing filly's already cracked the 150 barrier already here in August. Now Lima, I always do research in any town that I'm going to be at, because I'm looking at a map so I won't get lost. It did not happen today. I did get lost. I didn't have a map, but I had my general direction. And when you asked, is that which way's east-west? I said, that's the sun. I know that's setting in the west.
Right.
But that I got down here. But Lima was once part of the Great Black Swamp.
About part of the what?
The Great Black Swamp.
Okay.
And they they drained it, and all northwest of Ohio was, but they had a lot of mosquitoes and skeeters.
Ohio Colt Racing Association stake for 3-year-old colt pacers. Purse of $4,233. The J. Begg Memorial. Our outrider this evening, Katie Hartman. And these are the horses. Number 1, Soltis Begonia. The driver, Eric Haynes. Number 2, Dragon Attack. The driver, Jeff Nysonger, absent from the post parade. Number 3, Fear the Lou. The driver, Pierce Henry. Number 4, Zazar L. with Hank Levan. And number 5, Crosswinds Bobby B. David Ward in the sulky. A field of 5 in the 3-year-old Colt Pace First Division.
With one score, middle of the gate. Future winners closing in about 3 minutes. Less than 3 to wager on the first.
There's our 2 now.
Wager now.
So 5 in it.
Getting ready for the second. Getting ready for the second. 2-year-old Colt.
Two outstanding horses in here that look like well, this is a good field. It's between the 2, 3, and the 5, and there's only 5 in it. But this is going to be a horse race, a colt race.
Well, the 4 Caesarel was a winner at Walpog at 58. So that's the only. Well, here we have 57 and 3 at Attica for Pierce Henry and Fear the Lou. So yeah, it all depends how it sets up.
Caesarel is coming off 2 breaks in a row. That makes me back off, but nice gelding down by the seaside. Let's run them down. I'll start with Solstice Begonia. He's a 3-year-old gelding by Racing Hill, out of Adrian My Love by Big Jim. Nice colt trained, owned, and driven by Eric Haynes of Toledo, Ohio. Holy Toledo! Has 13 lifetime starts, 1 win, 1/3, mark of 2, 2, and 4 at Oak Harbor, and $3,997. Number 2.
Dragon Attack is the 2 Jeff Nysunger for Brett Swartz, the 3-year-old bay gelding by Fear the Dragon, out of the On the Attack mare Shall I Attack, a winner twice this year, right at $28,000 this year, $50,000 lifetime. Earlier in the year, 52 and 1 up Miami Valley. Look for Jeff Nysunger to be very aggressive with this, and Jeff very aggressive at the fairs. Once the front end, beat me if you can. He's going to set the tempo.
He's currently the leading driver at the fair.
He's going to be tough to beat. Yeah. We thought Ronnie Gillespie had a lot of wins last year. I'm sure Jeff's going to surpass that this year.
Now, again, one thing coming off a break at
Rock Springs.
Rock Springs. Well, that's an excuse. That's
yes.
Okay. Rock Springs. That first turn in Rock Springs, if you don't lay over to the side at least at a 90-degree angle, you don't get around that first turn. Number 3, Fear the Lou, is by Fear the Dragon. Owned, trained by Robert Brooks, sit out of a Jetta Blue Chip by American Ideal. Fear the Lou's a nice little gelding, has had 19 starts this year, 3 wins, 4 seconds, a mark of Attica of 157 and 3. Excellent mile. That's when he showed he was back again. This is a nice little animal. As I mentioned, I seen him in the matinees when they were just going in 220, and he showed his class back then. Number 4.
The Caesarel horse, Hank Levan trains and drives. 3-year-old Bago sent it down by the seaside, a winner twice this year. The last 2 lines shows breaks. Doesn't look too interesting there. A break at Urbana, break at Scioto, but on August 2nd was a winner at Walpock by 11 and a quarter and 158. So if Caesarel shows up tonight like he did at Walpock, he'll be very tough to beat.
Well, something might have been pinching him, maybe. Of course, the Van's good stable, good trainers, and he's got 41 lifetime starts, 5 wins, 4 seconds, and 7 thirds, 27,000. Last one to look at is Crosswinds Bobby B, owned by Johnny Stant of South Bloomfield. Chris McGuire is a trainer. David Ward in the sulky. This is a nice colt, nice gelding by Big Risk out of Keystone Mulberry by Arts Place, and got a mark of 59 and 1 at Chillicothe. They're behind the gate. Here's Roger Houston.
The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. off and pacing. Fear the Lou goes for the lead. Dragon Attack gets away second. Up on the outside, Cesar L. racing third. Racing fourth, Saltus Begonia. And treading the field, Crosswinds Bobby B. As they race over to the first eighth. On to the backside, Pierce Henry and Fear the Lou leads the way by a length and 3/4. Dragon Attack right there second. Cesar L. third. Racing fourth, Saltus Begonia. And trailing the field, Crosswinds Bobby B. As they race by the quarter and into the 3/8 mark. The leader, opening quarter in 29 2/5. It's Fear the Lou showing the way by a length and a half. Dragon Attack is there second. Cesar L. racing third. On the move on the outside, Crosswinds Bobby B. now fourth and coming on. Saltus Begonia trails the field, coming to the halfway point. It's Fear the Lou halfway home. Crosswinds Bobby B. up on the outside second. As they race by the half, on to the backside they go. Over to the half in 1 minute flat. Dragon Attack is now third, racing fourth. Cesar L. and trailing and dropping back is Saltus Begonia. Down the backside they go. Crosswinds Bobby B. on the outside, challenging Fear the Lou for command. Dragon Attack getting the trip on the inside third, racing fourth. Cesar L. and trailing is Saltus Begonia. 1:29 2/5, little more than an eighth of a mile to go. The leader, Fear the Lou, on the outside. Crosswinds Bobby B. Dragon Attack tips to the outside, will come 3 wide. Through the stretch, Fear the Lou, Crosswinds Bobby B. Dragon Attack to the wire. It's all Fear the Lou. Crosswinds Bobby B. Dragon Attacked. 1:57 4/5.
Well, the track is fast.
Yes, that's the start of it all tonight, folks. At 1:57 and 4.
The Lima track at the Allen County Fairgrounds is back. Very nice track. Congratulations. Hats off to the track crew.
Absolutely. They're out there working. I see. They take pride in their track. Every fair track I've been to, they take pride in.
Well, the track the last 4 or 5 years has not been the best. And I believe nobody trains here. I'm pretty sure there's no horses here during the winter that train anymore.
There's not. Kevin Schmiedbusch, I think, confirmed that earlier.
Yeah.
So
they really, a month ago, said they were working on the track. And final half, 57 and 4.
Last quarter, 20. 8 and 2.
28 and 2, yes.
Well, unofficial, 3-5-2.
3-5-2. It's official.
It's official now.
The bar half ready for that second race. 2-year-old Colt Trump, 6 of you, half ready for the second.
Don't fear the Reaper, but fear the Lou. Good to see an animal come back. He had his off weeks and all that, but this, as I said, he showed.
Of tonight's first race here at the Allen County Fair. Ohio Colt Racing Association 3-year-old Colt Pace, the J. Begg Memorial. Number 3, Fear the Lou. Robert Brooks of Ventu, Ohio. Robert Brooks, the trainer. Pierce Henry in the sulky. 3-year-old gelding, but Fear the Dragon out of Jetta Blue Chip. Home a winner in 1:57 4/5. The 7th win and 33 lifetime starts. And that's another winner from Midland Acres, the home of Fear the Dragon. Fear the Lou, Robert Brooks, Pierce Henry win the J. Begg Memorial. Results are official. First race. Number 1, Saltus Begonia, 5. The 2, Dragon Attack, 3. The 3, Fear the Lou, the winner. The 4, Cesar L, 4. The 5, crosswinds Bobby B, 2. Top down, 5, 3, 1, 4, 2 on the bottom. The quarter, 29 and 2. The half, 1 minute. The 3 quarters, 129 and 2. The mile, 157.4. A final half of 57 and 4. The final quarter, 28 and 2. Second race coming up.
That's just the start of tonight's 10 races from Allen County Fair here in Lima, Ohio. Our second race is a 2-year-old colt trot. We have 6. They score 6-8 wide here, so there's all action from the outside. We shall return for some more sizzling miles here at Lima in a few short moments.
The Allen County Fair in Lima, Ohio had humble beginnings as a small meeting 170 years ago. Local farmers gathered for the sole purpose of establishing an agricultural society that would organize an annual county fair. Finally, the first county fair was held for one day in October of 1851. A few years after its founding, the fair would be held just east of Lima. That same plot of land would eventually be known as the Lima Driving Park. The driving park consisted of a half-mile track and was considered among the best in the United States to host harness, automobile, and motorcycle races. The most celebrated harness horses appeared in competition at the Lima track. Even the legendary Dan Patch set a new track record of 2:04 at the Allen County Fair in 1903. The famous pacer had arrived in Lima in his own private railroad car. Today, the Allen County Fair is a member of the Ohio Colt Racing Association. They host 2 evenings of live-action harness racing.
Hi, I'm Dean Gillespie, and I want to tell you about the Ohio Colt Racing Association. There's 19 member fairs, and they sponsor the Partial Futurity in Greenville, Ohio. You need to race in the OCRA. Great racetracks, great people. Bring the kids and come out to the fair, and remember, fair time is fun time.
With more than 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. Much of that value comes from standardbred horse owners, breeders, trainers, and drivers who participate in the sport of harness racing. The mission of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is to preserve, protect, promote, and serve the entire standardbred industry in Ohio and beyond. To learn more about the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, go to ohha.com. That's ohha.com.
$59.2 on the trot. We're back. Well, we're back here at the Allen County Fair, getting set for the first division of the 2-year-old colt trot for $5,930. Tom Pye, a field of 6 off the rail, the one joint enterprise. Rusty Voorhees trains and owns 2-year-old brown colt by Enterprise. Bruce Schmidt will drive. 4 starts, has a win, 2 seconds, and a third. Has not been off the board. A winner of $11,653. A winner a week ago tonight at Smyrna of 7-2.
Very consistent. Number 2 is Longing for Cash, aren't we all? He said Greeno trained for E.G. Trot LLC of Findlay, Ohio, and the Broken Brookers Limited of Findlay, Ohio. There's a long Tom 2-year-old gelding out of Kentucky Cash by Broughton Hall. Cody Greeno does a teaming tonight. Has 8 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds, 2 thirds. Mark of 2, 3, and 2 at Tiffin. $13,658. Consistent little trotter. Nice trim.
Tyvad Roden owns, trains, and drives a 3 Classy Dream. This $4,000 Buckeye Classic purchase last year. The 2-year-old bay got him by nothing but class. 6 starts. You have to find a winner's circle, a second and 3/3. $4,600 coming off a 3rd place finish last week at Troy. Timed in 2:08 and 1, the 3 Classy Dream.
Before his flash of fame with Roger Hughes Jr. Owned and trained, owned with Wayne Miller of Sugar Creek, Ohio. This little colt by Uncle Peter out of Fox Valley by Pizzazz has 10 starts, 5 wins, 2 seconds, no thirds, has picked up $25,000 this year, marker 2-2 at Xenia, and he only made 2 miscues in the last 2 starts at Urbana, so that's the only detraction on this.
Yeah, and 4 wins in a row there. Before that, was second at Urbana, and then had an IX break at Troy, and just probably had lost interest, the 4 Flash of Fame. Yeah. I guess I jumped the horse, right?
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. Okay. But the Flash of Fame, pretty much class of the race, looking at the program. But a $25,000 winner. So
number 5 is Nothing But a Prince.
Line to be announced, and I think, I'll look on my phone, but I think Nothing But a Prince was a winner at Greenville.
Okay.
But I'll look it up.
And if that's 6 starts. We'll have 1 win, 1 second, 1 third. That's unofficial, of course, but does show 2-8 at Greenville and has been timed in 2-7 and 2 at Lebanon. Still, he's a 2-year-old Gillen by Nothing But Class out of J.P. Princess by Crazed, owned by Kimberly Daly of Mechanicsburg, Ohio, trained by Kimberly Daly, and driven by Kevin Snyder.
No, Nothing But a Prince. Kevin Snyder had a win last night. Nothing But a Prince raced Friday night at Greenville, finished 3rd. So the winner was 203 and 4, Nicesonger and Alina Stone, and Nothing But a Prince finished 3rd at Trotting His Mile in 204 and 3 with a final quarter in 29.
Well, there's a vast improvement for Nothing But a Prince in 2-4 and 3. Incidentally, folks, if you haven't done already, go to OhioRacing.com and click on free program. Follow along. See what we're babbling about. Doug doesn't babble. I babble. Doug is very concise. He knows what he's talking about. I babble. Number 6.
Is Abby's Prize, as Sandy Beatty trains and drives for Steve Sexton, 2-year-old bay gelded son of Enterprise. The winner once this year, 4 back, 12 and 4 at Washington Courthouse. Last 2 lines, not too impressive. Both distances show some breaks in those last 2 lines at Troy and Chillicothe. So I guess, Tom Pye, it's a 1 and a 5. Joint Enterprise and Nothing But a Prince.
1 and a 5. Doug, I'm gonna go with the 2 and the 4.
2 and the 4.
And
okay.
This is incidentally it's a little something for you folks to muddle over during. If you get your program on OhioHarnessRacing.com and look through there, we have 8 starters tonight. A couple of scratches. But how many of those 58 have not won a race? Just take a wild guess.
29, 30.
Lower.
That'll
be that's what's because that you folks, if you want to look through. I had nothing to do this afternoon. Yeah, right. But how many of these we have maidens? They have not won a race. So and it's as Doug said, it's lower than 28.
Lower than 28.
Okay.
Well, you probably so because in this race here, there's only one that wasn't a winner.
Right. Well, two.
Two. Yeah, the 3 and the 5.
Yeah. So I'm going to go bet a $20 exact on the 3 and the 5. I'll clean out the pool.
It would. What they would bet here this is pretty good betting.
They got a nice crowd.
Facility. Yeah, they got a nice crowd.
Very good crowd.
They had a big show here, they say, Saturday night. And Allen County, a big fair. Big fair.
13,000 people here for that concert.
For that concert,
Plus,
that's what I heard.
They said sold a semi and a half full of beer.
I heard that rumor.
So I think it must have been a pretty good night for the fair.
13,000. Do we know who the entertainment was? We don't.
I can't remember the name.
I can't either.
Fleetwood Mac and Mick Jagger appeared together.
Lehman Funeral and Cremation Services. Purse of $5,930. Number 1, Joint Enterprise. The driver, Bruce Smith. The 2, Longing for Cash, Cody Greeno. The 3, Classy Dream with Ty Van Roden. The 4, Flash of Fame, Roger Hughes Jr. Number 5, Nothing But a Prince. The driver, Kevin Snyder. And number 6, Abby's Prize, Sandy Beatty in the sulky. Please note the 6, Abby's Prize, racing with trotting hobbles. Horse will take 1 score and go to the gate. You have less than...
No,
I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to have to go over and call this or call the next one.
Okay.
Good talking with you, Tom.
Good to see you again, Doug.
On set. Hopefully I can go to the winner's circle if my friend's horse wins here. The rail horse, Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association director, Rusty Voorhees, a good friend of mine. I'm rooting for the one Joint Enterprise tonight just because he's my friend.
Sentimental day.
We root for all of them. Always best of luck to everyone in this race. So,
very good.
Tom, take care. Roger will be over to join you.
Very good.
Shortly. Take care, Tom.
Safe travels. Keep an eye on the boat across that track. Doug Ballinger, 54 years announcing. Now in this second race, incidentally, Doug and I went over what the track records were for the here at Lima, and it's one Odysseus A. has a pacing track record of 155-2, and that's from 2007. So that's one of the older track records. The way the track is after that first mile, they went 57-4. That wasn't the fastest colts, and it wasn't the fastest horses. The Memorial in the 10th race, we might shake down to 56 in a piece.
I hope. I'd like to see it for the guys that have been working the track. That was the story when we got here, is how much time and effort has been put into this racetrack over the last 3 weeks.
If the screen that they were working on, working with, brand new, and a couple of places I've been, they just had an old broken fence, chain link fence, that was all curled up. So they're milling around the backside. I see Doug has made it across the track, and they're getting ready to go behind the gate. This is the second race. 2-year-old colt trots, the Ohio Colt Racing Association, Allen County Fair, from lovable Lima, Ohio. The next voice you hear will be Roger Houston. First time the voice has been heard in Lima. Tonight's the night.
6-year-old trotters in behind the Wupkenberg starting gate on the upper turn. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and trotting. Flash of Fame goes right out for the lead. Joint Enterprise is there second. Longing for Cash gets away third. Off stride, Flash of Fame. The new leader, Joint Enterprise, and Bruce Smith inherits the command. Racing second, Longing for Cash third. Classy Dream to the backside. Nothing But a Prince is fourth. Down the backside they go. Flash of Fame back trotting fifth. Treading the field, Abby's Prize following an early break. Going to the first quarter mark. It's Joint Enterprise with the lead. Racing second. The end of the turn, Longing for Cash. Racing 32-2, first quarter. Classy Dream racing third. Another break by Flash of Fame. Racing fourth, Nothing But a Prince. Up the inside fifth, Abby's Prize. Trailing the field, Flash of Fame. Passing the stands first time, coming to the halfway point. It's Joint Enterprise leading the way by a length and a half. Longing for Cash is second. Classy Dream third. Into the turn fourth. That's Nothing But a Prince. Fifth is Abby's Prize. 104 4/5. Trading the field. Around the turn they go. Flash of Fame with another break. On to the backside and the 5/8 mark. The leader, Joint Enterprise, by a length and a on move on the outside. Cody Greeno, Longing for Cash, now second and coming on. Racing third, Classy Dream. Fourth is Nothing But a Prince by the 3-quarter mark. Racing fifth, Abby's Prize. Off stride, Flash of Fame. Into the final turn. Joint Enterprise with the lead. 3 quarters, 137 3. Little more than 1/8 of a mile to go in Ohio. Joint Enterprise brings him into the stretch. Coming to the outside, Longing for Cash. Joint Enterprise and Bruce Smith drawn away by 2.5. Longing for Cash second. Classy Dream was third.
I kind of want to go get my picture taken too. That's Doug's buddy, Rusty.
Yeah.
And the big colt, Joint Enterprise.
Was he here?
Who's that, Rusty?
Yeah.
I'm sure. I didn't go back in the barns. I got here a little bit late and it was hot, so.
Oh, he's up there now.
Yeah, we'll see.
Good mile.
Yeah, sure was.
And of course, the favorite was he 2-5, 8-5, jumped it off. Flasher. One, two, three. Let's see what the final time was.
He was hoping to catch a shorter field over here. He thought most of the horses would be down at Greenville, so a 6-horse field, and there were some tough ones in there. But tell him I said congratulations.
So that and that's one of the things with, they got 4 different racing associations. If you belong to all 4 of them, you can pick which ones you think will be the easiest.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very, what would you call, game of intrigue, trying to figure out, outguess everybody else. And Roger. We got Roger Wilkes. We got Roger Houston's going to be here. In about, well, Doug just got over there, so as soon as Roger moseys on over here, we're going to have a couple interviews, because what a great race from, if I count 1, 2, 3, and 5.
Yeah, Rusty's got a big smile on his face, or he did.
Joint Enterprise, big brown coat by Enterprise. Out of I Got a Feeling by Malabar Man. Let me twist my memory. Malabar Man was Jimmy Tackett trained. Any help?
No, I know he's a good sire. I don't remember racing that much.
The Malabar Man is his owner, and why can't I think of his name? But drove him.
Second race, Ohio Colt Racing Association 2-year-old colt trot. Number 1, Joint Enterprise. Owned and trained by Alan Voorhees, Salina, Ohio. Bruce Smith in the sulky, his second win this season at the county fairs. 2-year-old colt by Enterprise that I got a feeling takes a lifetime mark with a mile in 2:07 1/5. Blank in this race presented by Charles Lehman Funeral and Cremation Services to Joint Enterprise, Alan Voorhees, and Bruce Smith.
That is last quarter 29-3. He trotted a hole in the wind, he did.
It looked like Cody was right on his back there with that 2-horse, and thought about popping the hole a couple different times, but Joint Enterprise had plenty left there in the stretch when it was go time.
Yeah, when you get up there and they're not coming back to you, you might as well get back and take a seat. Quarters in 32-2, half in 4.
Results are official. Second race. Number 1, Joint Enterprise, the winner. Number 2, Longing for Cash, 2. The 3, Classy Dream, 3. The 4, Flash of Fame, 6. The 5, Nothing But a Prince, 4. The 6, Abby's Prize, 5. Top down, 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, 5 on the bottom. The quarter, 32-2. The half, 104.4. 3 quarters, 137.3. The mile, 2:07 1/5. No changes or corrections in the upcoming third race.
So that was our second race. A nice little trotting down the stretch there for Joint Enterprise. We're coming up to the third. It's a 2-year-old filly pace. This is the first division of 2. And we're going to let you mull on who drove Malabar Man to victory in the Hamiltonian.
Randy Wables. I'm guessing.
No, it was his owner.
Oh, really?
And we'll be back after that. Keep you in suspense after these few messages.
Your animals provide unconditional love. When they hurt, you want the best care available to help them enjoy life again. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center is here for you and for them. From heart disease to cancer, diabetes to broken bones, and 24-hour emergency services, Ohio State's team of experts make a difference in the lives of animals and the family members who love them. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1974, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com. Most orders shipped that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
The thrill and excitement of Grand Circuit Racing returns to the Delaware County Fairgrounds. Make your plans to attend the 78th Little Brown Jug. You win the Little Brown Jug! Little Brown Jug Week starts Sunday, September 17th with the 78th Little Brown Jug Thursday the 21st. Visit littlebrownjug.com or call 1-800-DEL-FAIR for ticket information. Be there!
We are back here at Allen County Fair. We're reconnecting with old friends. And good to see you. Stopping over is Roger Wilkins from Van Wert, which is just up the road. How many miles up to Van Wert?
We're about 30 miles from Lima.
That isn't bad.
And it's good to see you again, Tom.
That's good to be back. I see a lot of familiar faces around here.
Yeah, I always enjoyed you at Van Wert. It was very entertaining.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Now, Van Wert, How long's Van Wert been running?
It's our 167th year this year.
Now, that's rounding.
Yeah.
And intricate part of the community, and it's a great fair. You're having 3 days?
3 days of harness racing. We start off a week from tomorrow, Tuesday night at 6:30. Then we come back Thursday afternoon with our Veterans Day program. Then we come back Monday afternoon with harness horses. Then this year we've always had thoroughbreds on Monday afternoon, and in the last few years it had been hard to get them. So we wrote a program for Monday afternoon starting at 3 o'clock. And right now we've had some interest, but nobody's committed yet. So hopefully we can get that back on the grounds, because it would make a lot of people around the outside fences happy, but it's just, as you know, times has changed.
What is one good thing, it's a day of racing for the cheaper horses. They haven't had that good a year.
Monday is all condition horses. There's no stake races, and it gives a chance for maybe somebody that don't have a top colt to drop down and maybe win a race, or get some money on their card. And it's with Dayton starting in a couple of weeks after our fair, it's a good way maybe to get one qualified close to home.
Yep.
So we usually have a good card on Monday afternoon. There's a lot of condition horses around yet.
One thing too is on your Veterans Day is the best Veterans Day of any fair in Ohio. You guys do a great job.
Gibson's Barbecue, Tom Gibson, Convoy, Ohio. Last year he fed 200 and some veterans, and this year he said he'd like to feed 400 if possible. But along with that, it's Van Wert County veterans.
Yeah.
So, but he does a fine job of making sure everybody goes home, gets a full plate that day. So looking forward to it again this year.
Van Wert, Ohio, a great cut. Yeah, 167 years.
I've been working on the track for a month now. It's hard and fast right now.
And your grandstand, last time I was up there, you had done the repairs to your grandstand.
I don't know a whole lot of history about the grandstand, but I think it was built in 1912. It burned down once, then they rebuilt it again. And it's an old wood structure. We put a lot of money in it every year, just keep it up. But it's a big old grandstand.
And historic, as they say.
Yes, very.
I'm trying to think. I think my muddled mind. I think it was built in 1928, rebuilt after the fire. I think.
Yeah.
But
and not only being on the fair board, but Van Wert is a big fairgrounds. It's laid out. I don't know who did all the laying out, but it's a very big fairgrounds.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, a nice complex.
Here's your replacement, Roger Wilkins.
Yeah, that's a good
Roger Houston.
Yeah, he's a good man to follow, or I should be in front of.
You are the. But
over at the Van Wert County Fair, I used to go with my grandpa, me and my sister, and we'd always say how long it would take to get anywhere, because he knew everybody would stop and talk to everybody, and that's exactly what just happened when Roger was trying to come across.
Yeah, I mean, just like here, you can walk out of the grandstand, you're in the cattle barn.
Yeah.
Van Wert, you gotta pack it in a little bit. So, it's a nice big complex. So.
Where'd Mr. Houston go to? There's Mr. Houston.
Matt, are you coming to Van Wert this year then, or are you going to be?
Yeah, I am scheduled for Van Wert.
I'll have a spot saved for you guys.
All right, I definitely appreciate that.
Let's
give good to see you guys.
Good thing, Roger. Thanks so much.
Hey, thank you.
And for all your efforts that you do up there.
Thank the harness sportsmen for everything they do for these county fairs. They need to support, and
absolutely.
There's a lot that goes in behind the scene. A lot of people don't see too. So it's
when you get a turnout like this, we got a great crowd here.
And the breeze helps a lot.
Oh yeah,
definitely. So
this is
all right. Well, hey, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Thanks a lot, Roger.
Yeah.
Hope to see you up to Van Wert.
Yeah, and see you next week, man.
Yep, sounds good.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, now we're back here at the Allen County Fair. We have this third race is the Ohio Colt Racing Association 2-year-old filly pace. They are 5 young lasses here from the rail out. We have Terry Grove's trainer, Tura Up. She's a big filly by Lather Up out of Tura Laura by the Ponderosa. This is 5 starts, not on the board yet, but she does show 2-3 at Urbana.
The filly pace for $6,406. This is the first division, sponsored by Allen County Mounted Posses. A field of 5. There are no changes. Number 1 is Tura Up, the driver David Ward. Number 2, Rockin' Relay, driven by Hank Levan. The 3, Pretty Girl Dragon, Pierce Henry drives. Number 4, Fear My Grace with Jeff Nicesonger. And number 5, Gorgeous Ivory, Doc Holliday in the sulky. Win, play, show, Quinella, exacta, trifecta wagering. Horse will take 1 score. They'll go to the gate in at 3 minutes. Don't be
Welcome, Roger.
Good, Mr. Pye. How you doing?
Good to see you again, Mr. Houston. I'm doing well.
As well as can be expected.
Yes. Don't expect too much from me, as they always say. But this is a nice little field of fillies, 2-year-olds. Rockin' Ray L, number 2, is by Fear the Dragon out of Rockonomics by Rock and Roll Hanover, owned by the Levan Stables, and trained by Hank Levan, driven by Hank Levan. 12 starts, 2 wins, 3 seconds, 6 thirds, 13,000 this year. Market 2-2 and 3 at Eaton. Number 3,
Pretty Girl Dragon. 2-year-old filly by Fear the Dragon out of Pretty Girl Hanover. Robert Brooks, who just won the second race, is the trainer. Pierce Henry is the driver. Pierce already got a win tonight in the first race. This Fear the Dragon filly, 9 starts with 2 wins, 4 seconds and a third, 2, 8, and 4 at Paulding on a track rated good. Last start was at Napoleon and finished 4th, individually timed in 2, 3, and 2, but shows a final quarter of 30 and 3/5. The 3, Pretty Girl Dragon, Pierce Henry.
she does show that mile and Tiffin. She was 3rd. They went a mile and 57 and 4. A bit crazy. Patsy, as they call it. Nice filly. Pretty Girl Dragon. That market, Paulding, that was the first start of the year, too.
Starter has called the horses.
I got it. All right, I'm with next race.
Number 4 is Fear My Grace. Brett Swartz, trainee, owned by Brett Swartz and Racehorse Express, and S. Harrington and B. Larrick of Ohio. She's a 2-year-old filly by Fear the Dragon. Juliana Grace by Art Major. 6 starts, no wins, no seconds, 1 3/3. Mark of qualifier in Scioto of 59 and 2, has $7,273.
Here they come.
Let's get a shot of your head.
Gatebreaker, the 1, Tura Up. And they're off. First away, Rockin' Rayleigh for the lead. Pretty Girl Dragon comes out in second as they race into the turn. Gorgeous Ivory finds a spot 3rd. Fear My Grace is 4th, and Tura Up, the early trader, at the opening 8th. Hank Levan and Rockin' Rayleigh will guide him up the backside. Gorgeous Ivory up on the outside. Pretty Girl Dragon racing 3rd, racing 4th. Fear My Grace and Tura Up trails the field. On the opening quarter they go. And on top of the field and showing away, Ken Holiday and Gorgeous Ivory by a length. Rockin' Rayleigh right there, nose to helmet. Pretty Girl Dragon next in 3rd. Fear My Grace is 4th, and Tura Up can see them all by the opening quarter. Round the turn to the 3/8 they go. into the lane first time. Coming to the halfway point. It's Gorgeous Ivory. Rockin' Rayleigh right there second. Racing third. Pretty Girl Dragon. Fear My Grace fourth. And Tour Up trails the field as they come on over to the halfway point. Gorgeous Ivory by a length. Rockin' Rayleigh second. Pretty Girl Dragon is third. Fear My Grace fourth. And Tour Up trails the field as they race into the turn. Halfway home, 101 and 4/5. The leader, Gorgeous Ivory, by a length. Rockin' Rayleigh is second. Gapped away, Pretty Girl Dragon third. Fear My Grace fourth, and way back, Tour Up trails the field. Cross the backside of the three-quarters. Gorgeous Ivory, looking for season's win number 6, leads the way. Rockin' Rayleigh right there in the pocket, ready to come to the outside. Pretty Girl Dragon is third. Fear My Grace to the outside fourth. The trailer, Tour Up, they're into the far turn. Here comes Fear My Grace. Jeff Nysonger round the far turn with an 1/8 of a mile to pace. Gorgeous Ivory has the lead. Racing second, Rockin' Rayleigh. Closing on the outside. Fear My Grace third. Pretty Girl Dragon is fourth. They're off the turn. They're on their way home. It's Gorgeous Ivory. Rockin' Rayleigh coming after that leader. Rockin' Rayleigh, but Gorgeous Ivory will prevail. Gorgeous Ivory, Rockin' Rayleigh, and Fear My Grace. 202 1/5.
5-2-4 unofficial. As always, unofficial. Come last half and 101, a minute and 2/5. Unofficial. Good race. They made a race. That was Gorgeous Ivory, Ken Holliday's trainee. Drove, that's her 6th win in 11 starts. She has 11 starts, 6 wins, 4 seconds, 1/3. And a mark at Wilmington, 2-1. I'm Gorgeous. And I asked the other day, I said, I'm Gorgeous is the sire of Lather Up.
Are you sure?
Never ask me if I'm sure, because I'm pretty sure.
You're right.
Okay.
Roger just testing.
Yes,
putting the heat on you a little bit.
Still,
Tim Harless is watching.
Who owned that I'm Gorgeous? Racing the Little Brown Jug.
Didn't Teagues?
Yeah.
George Teague?
Yeah, racing the Little Brown Jug. And I think that's the one when they interviewed George after the race. He said a few expletive deleted comments about I'm Gorgeous's drive in the jug. The track here is much better than it was last year. They brought in Jason Bloom from down at Hollywood Dayton to redo the racetrack, get the turns right and everything, and they did a great job doing it, and it's a very fast track this year.
Farm of Texas, 6th of the season for Gorgeous Ivory. Ken Holliday trains and drives the winner, 202 1/5 for Gorgeous Ivory. Blanket, Allen County, Mounted Posse. Here's the way they finish the third. Number 1, Tour Up 5. 2, Rockin' Rayleigh 2. Number 3, Pretty Girl Dragon 4. 4, Fear My Grace 3. 5, Gorgeous Ivory the winner. The mile, 202 1/5. 30 and a 5th, 101 and 4, 132 and 1. 5, 2, 4, 3, 1 on the bottom.
Should mention that for Ken Holliday, that is his 18th win at the county fairs this season. He's having a real good year.
Very good year. Last quarter, 30 seconds flat. As Roger said, they did do a great job in this. We've had the trotters just 29 and 3. They came home.
Yeah. Fourth race coming up is a 3-year-old filly trot, Ohio Colt Racing Association Stake, First Division, field of 5. Brian Georges is the driver on the 5. MJ's Long Overdue. We'll be back with more from the Allen County Fair in just a few moments.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm with 500 acres of pasture for breeding to boarding and on-site veterinarian care, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Pet Rock, Long Tom, and Bit of a Legend. Midland Acres, doing our best to bring you the best.
Do you want your horse to shine in the winner's circle? Feed DAC Oil. It makes a world of difference.
With more than 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. Much of that value comes from standardbred horse owners, breeders, trainers, and drivers who participate in the sport of harness racing. The mission of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is to preserve, protect, promote, and serve the entire standardbred industry in Ohio and beyond. To learn more about the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, go to ohha.com. That's ohha.com.
Back here at the Allen County Fair, this fourth race coming up is an Ohio Colt Racing Association 3-year-old filly trot, first division. It is going for a purse of $5,593. The only change from the racing program is the 5. MJ's Long Overdue will be driven by trainer and part owner Brian Georges from Wilmington, Ohio. So we got a field of 5 to go postward here in this race, and fastest in the field is the 4, Fantastic L. Hank Levan trains and drives the 3-year-old filly by Team 6. 7 wins this year and 20 starts. Has banked $49,000 almost, about $50,000, real close now. 154-4 up in the half-mile track at Northfield.
And she is the winningest pacer on the card tonight. Nice Team 6, she's a trotter. Winningest trotter on the card tonight. Team 6, Prospective Caviar, SJ's Caviar.
I thought you knew something I didn't know.
Now, here's a question I asked the fans out there. See if I had to rattle my brains. Malabar Man, who was the sire of the dam of the third race winner, was driven by his owner.
Trainer. Yeah, he trained the horse most of the time. He did have somebody else listed as trainer on occasions, but he had the horse all along.
And his name was?
Mal Burrows. And little hidden fact about it, he was heavily involved in the construction of the Meadowlands, the first Meadowlands facility.
Yes, sir. You are correct, sir. That is, but I had to rack my brains. I said, but I knew one, the Hamiltonian, Mal Burrows.
At Delaware, Ohio one year, he was racing in the amateur trot, and he had a mare in there that had just set a world's record. And I had the 8-hole with Lewis Lincoln, and I was on top before we hit the turn. That's my only. I finished 4th. He won it, but I finished 4th.
But you always remember that. Well, there's Mal Burrows, yes. And as Roger said, the construction. Who is his trainer that was listed?
Right now,
I think I might be right on this one. I think Jimmy Tatker.
Could be. I really.
I know he was but that's Mal Burrows.
Yeah.
And of course, that was, I don't know how many years ago, 20.
And he was an amateur driver, winning the Hamiltonian.
Yep. And he was the first Hamiltonian winner of the amateur driver was Harrison Hoyt. That was before our time, right?
Yeah, way before my time even. Let alone yours.
Yeah, I know. I'm a kid, but Harrison Hoyt. And back in those days, everyone wore a Harrison Hoyt hat.
The silk hat.
Yep. Well, the hat. It was a Stetson, I think, but the especially hat.
Yeah.
Admit. But here in we're back in Lima now.
Sorry.
What are we doing?
Throwing stuff
Falling apart. Okay. These are 3-year-old filly trotters. Number 1's Cali Red, Chris Beaver, part owner with Sandra Burnett, easy trainee. Got a mark of 157 at Northfield. 12 starts, 1 win, 2 seconds, 3 thirds, 16,000. But it has over 62,000 made lifetime in 20 starts. Clifton Bell, he'll be in the sulky. Just got beat a nose up in Napoleon in 2-2-2.
Clifton Bell works for Chris Beaver, and either Clifton Bell drives the horses or Emmanuel Miller seems this year. However, Chris Beaver went into the year needing 4 driving wins to reach 100. He's got 2. He stands at 98, so he needs 2 more to get 100. He promised me he'll do it this year.
Well, he'd better.
I'll find him.
Yeah. Well, breathlessly waiting. He's not he's a tall. How tall is Chris?
I have no idea. Chris who? Oh, Beaver. I thought you was talking about somebody else.
No.
He's probably 6'2", 6'3", maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe even more than that. I don't know.
So he's like, and the norm for a good driver is, like a regular. It's like
I can't think of the name of the horse, but he was going to vet school in Florida, and he bought him a horse. Took the horse to Canada. Won $500,000 with that horse. Sold the horse for $500,000 plus. Again, he quit vet school.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Horses are coming to the track for the 4th race.
They're coming out of for the 4th here at Allen County, here in Lima.
This is the first division. A total purse of $11,186. This division for $5,593. Blanket by Delphus 10. Awning Incorporated. Brian Georges to drive the 5. MJ's Long Overdue. Brian Georges the 5. MJ's Long Overdue. And these are the horses for the 4th. Number 1, Cali Red. Clifton Bell drives. Jeff Nysunger drives at 2. Star Crystals. Number 3, White Diamondess with Sandy Beatty. 4, Fantastic L. Hank Levan driving. And number 5, MJ's Long Overdue. Brian Georges in the sulky. Win Place Show, Quinella, Exacta, and Trifecta wagering. Post time for the 4th in about 3 minutes.
As you were saying about this field.
And the Star Crystals is the 2. Larry Finn trainee for owner Chad P. Stone of Jamestown, Ohio. 3-year-old filly by Creatin. My Shooting Star by Malabar Man. Malabar Man again. The 21 starts, 3 seconds, 3 thirds, 3 wins, 3 seconds, 7 thirds. Mark of 59 and 3 at Scioto in the slop. Over $30,000 made. She was a Buckeye Classic yearling at $30,000. So she's made $30,000. So we're not saying she's broke even, though she's got a little ways to go. But number 3 is White Diamondess. Sandy Beatty, train drive. This filly just caught my eye when she went by. Nice long barreled horses by Long Tom out of Marico, Hanover by Cantab Hall. She has 12 starts, 2 wins, 1 second, 1 third. Again, while in the slop of 58 and 3 at Scioto. Made a couple coming off the brakes. Number 4, Fantastic L. She's a Team 6 3-year-old out of Perspective the Carrier by S.J.'s Carrier. She's coming off 4 in a row in Ohio. And she has 7 wins. This is the winningest trotter on tonight's card. 20 starts, 7 wins, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, $49,974. Mark of 154-4 at Northfield. She's currently at 1-5.
I've seen her last 3 in person. She has just been toying with these horses out here. She's a monster right now.
And she's coming off of 2 miles at Urbana and Salina, 59-2.
Track record at Urbana for 3-year-old trotting fillies that day. That was after they got a ton of rain the night before.
Oh yeah, that's the wipeout that was.
Yeah.
But MJ's long overdue. Trained by Brian George, owned by John Bryan and Mary Ann George, Wilmington, Ohio. Long Tom filly out of MJ's Peg of My Heart by Pegasus Spur. 10 starts, hasn't hit the board. Got 1 win in 16 starts lifetime. Got a marker 2-9-2 at Athens. So she does show 2-2 with the break at Xenia.
Gate's rolling. It's post time for the 4th.
The gate is rolling. Here is Doug Ballinger for the call of the 4th from Allen County Fair in Lima.
3-year-old filly trotters, first division for $5,593. Sponsored by Delphus 10 and Awning. We're all in behind the Wepkenberg starting gate. Here they come. Off stride at the start, Fantastic Al. Cali Red sent right to the front. Star City Crystals comes out in second. White Diamond is third. Into the turn, MJ's Long Overdue fourth. And the gate breaker, Fantastic Al, will be the early trader as they race around the turn. Trot to the opening eighth. Cali Red fronts them by a length. Out and on the move quickly. White Diamond and Sandy Beatty from third. Racing up on the outside, now second. Star Crystals is third. Fourth is MJ's Long Overdue and Fantastic L. Trails the field, cross the backside. Star Crystals jumps it off. That leaves the 2 on the front end all alone. White Diamond grabs the lead as they race around the turn, and she's off stride by the quarter, 31-1. Moving through, Cali Red now to take the lead. White Diamond is off stride. MJ's Long Overdue next around the turn. Star Crystals and trailing upfield. Fantastic L as they pass the stands and come to the halfway point. The leader, Cali Red, racing second as MJ's Long Overdue on the outside. White Diamond is third. Star Crystals fourth. Fantastic L is the trader. They're halfway home, and Cali Red has the trotters by the half, and 101 on a fifth. Around the turn to the 5/8 they trot. White Diamond is on the outside. MJ's Long Overdue the inside. Star Crystals is fourth, and Fantastic L trails the field across the backside. They trot. It's Clifton Bell and Cali Red all alone on the front end. White Diamond is racing second, trotting third. MJ's Long Overdue. Star Crystals is fourth, and Fantastic L trails the field. They trot the far turn. Cali Red has them by 3/4, 131-1. Around the far turn, Cali Red by a good dozen. White Diamond is second. Third, MJ's Long Overdue. Star Crystals the outside fourth. Fantastic L fifth. They're off the turn. They're on their way home. And the 3-year-old of filly trot coming to the line. Cali Red has shut the door on this field. White Diamond is second. Going to be tight for third. Going to be Star Crystals. The mile 2:02, 2/5.
Clifton Bell with the victory. One of the trainers for the powerful Chris Beavers stable gets into the bike and wins his 4th this season at the county fairs. 3-year-old filly by Triumphant Caviar out of Red Storm. I remember last year part of our freshman focus when she was a 2-year-old. And this now gives her about $65,000 a lifetime.
See Clifton take a look over his shoulder when he came in front of us the first time. He was probably a little surprised that there wasn't anything within 20 lengths of him.
All he had to do was stay flat the rest of the mile. second win in 13 this season for Cali Red.
No, that was when he did look over his shoulder, he was like, where is everybody? But there are a lot of breaks in there that fantastic out.
Speaking for drivers, most of them know when a horse makes a break in the race.
Oh, yeah.
You usually hear the other driver say something. you can tell by the sound of you hear somebody galloping.
So I will say I was in an amateur race. Here she comes. Now look, see how low her head is? That's the natural.
I love Clifton's colors. Orange and white.
To the 3-year-old Filly Trot for $5,593. Number 1, Cali Red. 3-year-old Bay Philip Trump and Caviar out of the Storm and Norman mare. Caviar Red. Sandra Burnett, Wilmington, Ohio. Chris Weaver, Radnor, Ohio. Own Clifton Bell. The winning driver, the mile 202, 2/5. Blanket by Delphus, 10 and awning. It is official. Number 1, Cali Red, the winner. 2 Star Crystals, 3. Number 3, White Diamond is 2. 4, Fantastic L, finished 5th, placed 4th. 5, MJ's Long Overdue, finished 4th, placed 5th for lapped on break at the wire. The winning time, 2:02, 2/5. 31 and 1, 101 and 1, 131 and 1. Top down 1, 3, 2, 5. Or excuse me, 1, 3, 2, 4, 5 on the bottom. 5th race coming up.
That was very well even rated. Good rated mile, 31 and 1. Second quarter of 30 seconds. 3 quarters and 30 seconds. And they came home in 29 and 3.
Matt, you knew Clifton Bell, didn't you?
I talked to him, what fair was that even? Napoleon. I went back and talked to him a little bit, yep.
But was he up in Michigan at some time, or?
I don't know, actually.
Toledo?
No, I didn't really know him.
Oh,
no,
I thought you did.
No, nope, just talked to him a little bit, one of the last fairs
If you remember this year's Racing Focus, you text me or something. Was that Clifton Bell? I thought you did.
I honestly.
Yeah, I thought you knew.
No.
Fifth
Getting to know
race.
more and more folks, though.
5th race coming up is the second division of the 3-year-old Colt Pace. They're going for $4,233, a field of 6. Alex Hawks gets a call to drive the 4, Fear of the Fire, and David Ward will sit behind the 6, highly requested. Back with that 5th race in just a few moments.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio wants to thank all the breeders that supported our popular stallions, including new trotting sire Play Tricks on Me. Cool Winds also stands proven sire Mr. Apples in the great state of Ohio. Randy and Kim Haynes also stand the only full brother to Some Beach Somewhere, Bring on the Beach, sire of Heart of Chewbacca. Visit the Cool Winds consignment at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway Ag Center on Friday, September 15th.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Sun's out, guns out, hot summer fun.
Hot summer fun. Hot summer fun.
We're back. This is made popular by Neil Diamond. That was his song, Sweet Caroline, theme song of the Boston Red Sox. Unofficial theme song.
Who made us famous?
Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
I saw him in concert in 1971. What a fantastic performance he put on. And he explained all these songs as he went. But you're the fifth. I want to give a quick shout out to a couple of new listeners we have way up north. Speaking of the Boston Red Sox, we've got some devout fans of the Boston Red Sox.
What team?
The Red Sox.
I never heard of them. I thought I knew the Red Legs.
Red Legs, they used to be. But we're going to say hi to Molly and Brandon and Ruby Ryan up there in Swampscott. The devout fans, everyone up there.
You say they live in a swamp.
They had a swamp, but they filled it in. This is Swampscott. But we're here at the fifth.
What do we got here in the fifth?
We have 3-year-old Colt Paces. This is a good field. This got Gator Growl, got a mark of 53 at Scioto. We have Zip Tie, a mark of 54 and 4 at Scioto. They can do some smoking in here. Number 1 is High Splendor, a 3-year-old gelding by Nob Hill High. A Private Splendor by Weston Hanover. 10 starts, no wins, 1 second, 1 third, $3,842 for trainer owner Steve Boroff of Mendon, Ohio, driven by Pierce Henry. Number 2 is Jimmy L. Hank Levin. Jimmy Hell is a 3-year-old gelding by Racing Hill out of Natural Paradise by Western Ideal. Hank Levan for the Levan Stables, driven by Hank Levan. This year, 19 starts, 1 win, 1 third. Mark at Sydney, 2-2 and 2. But shows Northfield 54 and 2. She has a potential of breaking loose. The 3 is Gator Growl. Do we have the line to be announced? Do we know what that one is? No. This is a mark of 53 at Scioto. 10 starts, 3 wins, 3 seconds, 1 third. 3-year-old gelding by Well Said out of Gator Won't Tell by Tell All, owned by George Burkholt of Sarasota, Florida, and Indigo Racing LLC, way out in California. Trained by and driven by Jeff Nysonker. Here they are.
David Ward will drive the 6. These are the horses. Number 1 is High Splendor. Pierce Henry drives. Number 2, Jimmy Lou, Hank Levan. 3 is Gator Growl, driven by Jeff Nysonker. 4, Fear the Fire, Alex Hawk. Number 5 is Zip Tie with Justin Belanger. And number 6, highly requested, David Ward in the sulky.
I don't know that Gator Growl was a winner Friday at Greenville, but I do know that Nysonker won 4 races that night, so chances are he might have won with this horse.
Definitely looks like he could. That would be his 4th win in 11 starts this year. Number 4 is Fear the Fire, a Fear the Dragon gelding out of Black Diamonds by Well Said. Has not won this year. Has 11 starts, 1 second, and 2 thirds. Lifetime only 1 wins. And that was at Sydney last year. Does show 53 at Scioto and 54 consistently, so 54, 55. Just doesn't look like it can go with the competition down there. It's a Brett Schwartz trainee. Alex Hawk is the driver. Number 5 is Zip Tie, a 3-year-old gelding by Racing Hill out of Sapphire Flames by Dragon Again. Owned and trained by Philippe Belanger. Justin Belanger in the sulky. Also co-owner by Jeffrey Costas, Roger. How do you pronounce that?
Kester. I always pronounce it Kester.
Jeffrey Kester's of Coldwater. He has 13 starts this year, 3 wins, 3 seconds, 1 third, 26 $5,269. Mark of 54-4 at Iota. Zip Tie might be able to zip coming off a good mile at Salina of 57-1. Last quarter in 29 seconds flat. Shows nothing but 54-53. Should be the favorite. Even favorite right now. On the 6 is Highly Requested, the Mike Paulhamus gelded by Nob Hill High out of Request to Win, out of Capital by Rapper Request. 13 starts this year, 1 win, 1 second, 3/3. Margaret Ottawa of 2-1-1 has made 10,000, almost 11,000. Will be driven by David Ward. Shows a mile at Troy, or Urbana, 56-4. Northfield, 55-4. Could be an outsider.
Did you talk about the gentleman singing here?
Yes,
tonight?
I did. He's a preacher.
Church of the Nazarene. Now he's singing probably 4, maybe 5 songs per race. Now you multiply that by 9 races. That's 45 to 50 songs that he's singing. And he doesn't repeat any songs.
It's amazing.
He's got a repertoire.
He sounds good, too.
Now, the thing is, he plays almost constantly and working on the microphone. I hated to interrupt him.
I was wondering how that works,
Yeah.
or if there is any kind of system.
They said just interrupt him, he'll stop playing.
Less than 1 minute to post time, less than a minute.
Oh, he's keeping an eye out
Can
down
you imagine what Neil Diamond would do if I interrupted him? Probably kill me.
They're on the way to the gate for the 5th. We're halfway home here at the Allen County Fair in Lima, Ohio. It's Doug Ballinger with a call for the 5th.
They're at the gate. It's post time for the 5th. Second division, 3-year-old colt pacers for 4,233. Sponsored by Citizens National Bank. All in behind the gate. Here they come. And they're off. Jimmy L sent right to the front. Gator Growl will come out in second. Up the inside, High Splendor. On the outside, Fear the Fire. Racing fourth. Racing fifth is Zip Tie into the turn. Highly Requested, the Early Trader sixth. Around the turn. Go on over to the opening quarter. Hung on the outside, Jimmy L. Gator Growl on the inside. High Splendor the inside third. Fear the Fire on the outside fourth, Zip Tie fifth, and Highly Requested trails the field. Up on the outside, Jimmy L. Hank Levan trying to clear the leader. Gator Growl as they race around the turn. High Splendor on the inside is third. Quarter and 30 and a fifth around the turn. Fear the Fire, the outside. Zip Tie racing along the pylons fifth, and Highly Requested can see them all. Passing the stands first time. 4 in, 2 moving on the outside. Jimmy L yet to see a pylon. Gator Growl has him hung out. Racing third, High Splendor. 4 outside, Fear the Fire. 5 inside, Zip Tie. 6 outside, Highly Requested. 3 in, 3 out as they race past the half. They're into the turn. Racing around the turn, Gator Growl has the lead at the half, 59-4, front to back. They're separated by some 4 lengths. They're stacked up 3 wide around the turn. Down the backside they go, Gator Growl. Jimmy L on the outside. High Splendor the inside is third. Racing on the outside, Fear the Fire. Up the inside comes Zip Tie. Highly Requested trails the field. Into the final turn. Jeff Nysonger and Gator Growl have them by 3/4 in 1:30 3/5. Racing second is High Splendor. Zip Tie is third. Highly Requested on the outside. With an 1/8 of a mile to pace, Gator Growl turns for home, leading a field by a length, but they're coming at him. High Splendor the inside. Zip Tie keeps on coming. Zip Tie on the outside. Zip Tie very tight for second. May have been Gator Growl over High Splendor. But Zip Tie gets up in the final strides. 2 minutes, 1/5.
The time to the half, did I hear the call correctly? I thought he said 55-3.
Oh, boy.
Did you write down the half-mile time?
Yeah, 59-4.
Oh, boy.
3/4 and 1:30-3.
Okay, I thought he said something else at the half. That means
he could have.
What was the quarter?
30-1, 59-4, 1:30-3. What they go that mile?
2 minutes and a fifth. So that makes sense. Must be my hearing.
5:31.
They say that's the first thing to go.
Well, they had a rambunctious crowd behind us, too.
Yeah.
That's great. What a great finish that was.
Nysonger, Jeff started kind of working on him pretty good about halfway around that last turn. I think he knew he was going to need everything he could get out of him there.
He's in a very tight photo for place.
Yeah.
He may have finished third. Justin Belanger, his first at the fairs this season.
National Bank. Number 5, Zip Tie. The 3-year-old brown goat son of Racing Hill out of the Dragon Again mare. Sophia Flames, 4th of the season. Phil Belanger, Salina. Jeffrey Kessler's Coldwater, Ohio own. Justin Belanger in the sulky the mile. 2 minutes, 1/5.
Hamburger, cheeseburger, ribeye.
Results are official. Number 1, High Splendor 3. 2, Jimmy L 6. Number 3, Gator Growl 2. 4, Fear the Fire 5. 5, Zip Tie the winner. 6, Highly Requested 4. 2 minutes and a fifth. 30 and a fifth. 59-4. 1:30-1. 3:62.514 on the bottom. Sixth race in about 12.
Sixth race coming up. Ohio Colt Racing Association 2-year-old colt trotters. Field of 5 to go posted. This is the second division when we return to the Allen County Fair.
Athletes, they come in all shapes and sizes. They catch, they leap, they run. Some athletes even come with 4 legs and paws and hooves. When these beloved family members need care, remember the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio State experts wrote the book on exceptional animal care and know how to get our best friends back on their feet. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1974, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com. Most orders shipped that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
The thrill and excitement of Grand Circuit Racing returns to the Delaware County Fairgrounds. Make your plans to attend the 78th Little Brown Jug.
You win the Little Brown Jug!
Little Brown Jug Week starts Sunday, September 17th with the 78th Little Brown Jug, Thursday the 21st. Visit littlebrownjug.com or call 1-800-DEL-FAIR for ticket information. Be there!
Roger, did you look at the entries for Thursday at Greenville yet?
I heard that there's only 5, and what, Charlie May got the 3-hole?
3, yep. The trot was a pretty full field. 14 races overall for the night. So I got a text from Mr. Tiger earlier today when they drew it. I'm pretty excited. I love getting to see that horse live because I don't get to go to the big tracks usually and see him. So
my guess is it won't be a track record. I don't think they'll go in 51-1.
I don't know if anybody will ever go that fast over that track again.
Well, I said last night, if you remember, that track record was established in a overnight race.
He didn't fit
the horse that was entered for the Regal, but they wouldn't let him start in the Regal, so he says, well, I'll race him in the other race and set a track record.
Would it be because like top 8 money earners or something like that, maybe, or something I wouldn't get in?
I'm not sure.
But yeah, that's pretty impressive.
It was shades of Falcon Almerhurst, who was not eligible to the Little Brown Jug, and Tom Harmer says, I'll just race him in an overnight and set the track record and go faster than the Jug.
Nice round of applause for
Chuck Berkey.
Chuck Berkey. Now this 6th race is for 2-year-old trotting colts, 2nd division. This purse is $5,930. We have some creatine horses in here. And I know the Robins up there in Bucyrus, they have a couple of creatines. They show promise, they look good. And number 1 is CS Creatine, Ed Greeno Jr.
To all of our veterans.
Going to be driving and training. 8 starts, no wins, 1 second, 2/3, 4,900. On his card does show 2-6, 2-7 at Tiffin. Number 2, Super Begonia. Is a 2-year-old gelding by Enterprise. Cheryl Haynes and Marion Haynes of Blissfield, Michigan. 4 starts, no wins, no seconds, 2/3. Does show a time up in Michigan of 2:08 and 3. Number 3 is Fleur's Fire. Sandy Beatty, 2-year-old gelding, trains it. Roger Wallace owned Horseplay Racing Stable of Grove City. The 2-year-old gelding by Enterprise out of Fleur de Hill by Muscle Hill. No wins in 5 starts, 1 second. No thirds, $2,954. Fleur's Fire. Number 4 is Here's Johnny Cash. Hello, Johnny Cash. Here's Johnny Cash. Roy Burns trains and owns, along with his daughter, Casey Burns Kelly. It's easy for you to say, Roger. Not easy for me. 1 win in 6 starts and 2 seconds, 1/3, 10,000. She's the powerhouse in the field. Casey Kelly in the sulky shows 2-4 at Urbana. Finished 3rd, 2nd in Xenia, and 2-5. That is a powerhouse. Number 5 is Scratch Off Ticket. Tyler Bates trains and drives for Suzanne and Bates of Gibbonsville, Ohio. Gibbonsburg. 8 starts, no wins, 1 second. And 4,800 made. That's what I mentioned earlier. There are 58, 57 horses starting tonight. How many horses have no wins? I just take a Matt Doug said 29. I just got to go lower. Well, the correct, I think, or near correct answer was 18. 18 horses have not won a race tonight.
This year or lifetime?
This year.
This year?
Yeah.
Not necessarily lifetime. Mike Wartkenberg now giving rides in the starting gate, which he has become known for. I think last night it was something like 7 or 8 races he had rides in the starting gate.
I was trying to get a couple of them on the screen. I think that's really, if you ever get a chance to try that, it is really something.
A completely different perspective of the race.
Unbelievable how fast those horses are going behind the gate. Looking at them from that perspective.
Look at their eyes and their nostrils.
Yep.
We start the excitement.
The 2-horse, Super Begonia. Gerald Haynes, who lives up in Blissfield, Michigan, breeding farm. All the horses that he names in with Begonia. As you can see, he was the breeder on this one as well. However, look back at your first race. I can't figure this one out.
The pacer?
Saltus Begonia. The breeder is in New Jersey, Lomangino Standardbreds. I don't see any connection to Gerald Haynes. So I wonder how this horse got named Begonia.
Likes the name Begonia.
Yeah.
That is a flower, isn't it? Or
yeah. I always thought that Gerald had you can have something like, you can't just name a horse Hanover.
Right.
Have you ever spoke with Gerald much?
Huh?
Do you know Gerald at all? Have you ever spoken with him much?
But I've had him race mostly at Delaware, Ohio over the years. He always seemed to race there. Now it's some of the county fairs in the northern part of Ohio. But I don't know him, but I know that all of his horses named Begonia.
Yeah.
Begonia.
He and his wife are great people. I don't know how old Gerald would be now, but he's getting up there. He's was a professional boxer at one time.
Really?
Yeah. They live just a few miles from my parents' place up there in Blissfield.
2, Super Begonia, Eric Haynes drives. 3, Fleur's Fire with Sandy Beatty. Number 4, here's Johnny Cash, Casey Kelly driving. And rounding out the field, the 5, scratch-off ticket, Tyler Bates in the sulky. No change in the 6th. When play show, Quinella exacta trifecta. 3 minutes to post time. Wager early. Don't.
You know, Roger, you mentioned they can't use Hanover. Oh, of course, we had Little Bell, too, Alan Levitt set up. But when Bill Rosenberg started naming
the Donut Man.
That's what we always called him, the Donut Man, Dunkin' Donuts. And he named all his horses Donut. And they said, you can't name them Donut. And he said, well, what do you mean? You have Hanover, Lobel, you have Almerhurst, you had all the other breeding farms. Why can't? So that's how he was allowed to name them Donuts. And we always called him the Donut Man.
I only met him once in the elevator at Pompano Park. I was heading to the announcer's booth, and he was going up with his wife to have dinner in the clubhouse.
With a couple of donuts for dessert.
I doubt that.
No. Did you ever hear the story how he invented Dunkin' Donuts? He was on a game show, actually, and he explained it. And this was back in the 60s. And he says he invented the Dunkin' Donuts, the donut with the handle. It has a little handle on it. But he started out, he had a food concession at the North River Shipbuilding.
They made part of the donut in the shape of a handle.
Well, a little knob on it, like a little, just you could dunk it. That's how he got. But he started out with a food concession at the shipbuilding yard, and his meals, etc. He saw that mostly it was always coffee and donuts that was a big seller. So then he started making. He invented the Dunkin' Donut. And we, of course, got that great horse by the name of Duncan, who's the winningest horse in North America.
I believe has now won 10 in a row.
10 in a row.
I'm pretty sure. And you never know what he's going to do in the winner's circle.
Is he a wiggle it, jiggle it?
He can be known to be. But when we were up there and did Freshman Focus with the Cleggs, I got my picture taken with Dunkin' Donut, and perfect gentleman. But while on the racetrack after a race, you don't know what he's going to do in the winner's circle. Horses are going to the gate for the 6th race, a 2-year-old clock. 2nd division, Doug Ballinger with the call.
Gabriel the 2, Super Begonia. And they're off for the lead between horses. That is Fleur's Fire from the inside. CS Korea Chip round the turn. Here's Johnny Cash racing on the outside. Scratch Off Ticket will take a tuck and find a pylon 4th. And Super Begonia will be the early trader at the opening 8th as they head up the backside. Ed Greeno Jr. and CS Korea Chip lead them by 2. Fleur's Fire, the pocket sitter, is 2nd. Here's Johnny Cash is 3rd. 3 lengths from the front. 5 lengths from the front. A Scratch Off Ticket who races 4th. And Super Begonia way back about 20 lengths from the front is the trader. Across the backside, going to the opening quarter. Round the turn, CS Korea Chip has them by that mark, 32 3/5. Fleur's Fire right there, 2nd, trotting 3rd. Here's Johnny Cash, Scratch Off Ticket is 4th. Super Begonia trails the field at the 3/8 mark. Into the lane first time, fielded trotters. Being led by CS Korea Chip right there, 2nd. Fleur's Fire, the pocket sitter, takes a peek to the outside for Beatty. 3rd, here's Johnny Cash. 4th, Scratch Off Ticket, and the trader is Super Begonia. They're at the half, and CS Korea Chip setting the tempo into the turn. Fleur's Fire 2nd, halfway home in 102 flat. Round the turn, CS Korea Chip. Fleur's Fire next on the outside. Here's Johnny Cash and Scratch Off Ticket to the inside. Super Begonia trails the field down the backside. CS Korea Chip, Fleur's Fire coming after that leader on the outside. Here's Johnny Cash 3rd. Scratch Off Ticket is 4th. Super Begonia trails the field stride for stride into the far turn. CS Korea Chip on the inside. 3/4, 138 2. Fleur's Fire the outside, puts a head and neck in front. Next, here's Johnny Cash, Scratch Off Ticket, the trader Super Begonia. They're at the top of the stretch, and Fleur's Fire and Sandy Beatty turn for home with a 1.5 length lead. Battling back, CS Korea Chip coming to the line. It is Fleur's Fire. Up for 2nd, here's Johnny Cash. CS Korea Chip home 3rd. The mile 2:09.
Last quarter in 30 3, I believe. It looked like a 3-4-1, and Fleur's Fire.
Half 106, the halftime 106.
Fleur's Fire. That's an Enterprise colt. Sandy Beatty, trainer driver. That's first win, first lifetime win. A new lifetime mark of 2:09, coming last quarter, 30 3.
3rd win this season for Sandy Beatty at the county fairs.
Congratulations, Tim Clark, member of Horseplay Racing Stable. He's a pretty loyal follower on our Facebook races.
Of course, it's a lifetime mark, maiden victory for Fleur's Fire by Enterprise of Fleur de Hill. Beatty, the trainer and driver.
Now, Enterprise stands down in Dublin, Ohio, I believe. This was a Fleur's Fire's a Ohio Select yearling of 17,000. It was the creatine colt was a 5,000.
That Ohio Select sale.
9,000, the Ohio Select sale, and the Buckeye VHS, 7,000 scratch-off ticket by What the Hill.
Allen County Fair would like to thank Tom Hall, Buick GMC, for trucking to work the track. Back in front of the stage.
stands. Here's your winner, the 6th race. Second Division 2-year-old Colt Trot, Ohio Colt Racing Association for $5,930. Number 3, Fleur's Fire. The 2-year-old Bay Golden Son of Enterprise. Out of the Muscle Hill mare, Fleur de Hill. Home of Roger Wallace, Columbus, Ohio. Horseplay Racing Stable at Grove City, Ohio. Sandy Beatty trains and drives the winner, the mile 209. This race sponsored by Batch Promotional Products. Both divisions of the 2-year-old Colt Trot taken by Enterprise. Here's the way they finished. Number 1, CS Korea Chip 3. 2, Super Begonia 5. The 3, Fleur's Fire, the winner. 4, Here's Johnny Cash 2. 5, Scratch Off Ticket 4. The winning time 2:09. 32 and 3, 106, 138 and 2. 351, 24 on the bottom.
So we move on to the 7th race, the 7th of 10 tonight. Field of 5 will go postward in the Ohio Colt Racing Association 2-year-old filly pace. This is the 2nd division. They're going for $6,406. No changes in race 7. We'll be back with that event in just a few moments.
The Allen County Fair in Lima, Ohio had humble beginnings as a small meeting 170 years ago. Local farmers gathered for the sole purpose of establishing an agricultural society that would organize an annual county fair. Finally, the first county fair was held for one day in October of 1851. A few years after its founding, the fair would be held just east of Lima. That same plot of land would eventually be known as the Lima Driving Park. The driving park consisted of a half-mile track and was considered among the best in the United States to host harness, automobile, and motorcycle races. The most celebrated harness horses appeared in competition at the Lima track. Even the legendary Dan Patch set a new track record of 2:04 at the Allen County Fair in 1903. The famous pacer had arrived in Lima in his own private railroad car. Today, the Allen County Fair is a member of the Ohio Colt Racing Association. They host 2 evenings of live-action harness racing.
Hi, I'm Dean Gillespie, and I want to tell you about the Ohio Colt Racing Association. There's 19 member fairs, and they sponsor the partial futurity in Greenville, Ohio. You need to race in the OCRA. Great racetracks, great people. Bring the kids and come out to the fair, and remember, fair time is fun time.
We're back here at the Allen County Fair.
Two-year-old filly pacers in the 7th.
Sing along, Roger. You got to sing along with them.
I'll tell you.
I wonder, he says, where they gets before the congregation. He says, well, where were you last night? I was at the races.
I really wonder what this sounds like on our broadcast.
I'm sure it's coming through pretty clear. I mean,
wait till Thursday night at Greenville. The Greenville Civic Band will be playing.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Yep.
And it will be very loud.
Right back for the 7th. This is the...
you know, they had a good crowd here tonight.
Great crowd. Yeah. Great crowd. Tell you, that's the only thing... Now, this... You always have to watch for the weather here at Lima. It's got clouded over.
I'm watching, but I don't see anything.
You won't. It'll be a surprise. But it feels a change in the air.
When we started the races, the temperature was 88 degrees, but we do have a breeze.
Yeah.
So whether this breeze is going to bring a little rain to the area, probably.
I'm awfully thankful for the breeze that we're getting. I was hurting after setting this stuff up when I got here.
Well, the sun was shining bright then.
Yeah.
It was hot today. It's awful muggy.
You know what the forecast is for Thursday, don't you?
105 heat index.
Really?
I saw it on the news this morning. Yeah, so 95,
96,
I think.
96. And that's 96 at a lot of places, because here at Lima they're predicting 96, Greenville 96. So.
Did you stay in Greenville? Or did you get a room up here in Lima?
No, I stayed in Greenville.
I checked out at 11 this morning, just drove here and went to the movie theater in town and watched a 3-hour movie, and I was still 3 hours here before post time. I didn't want to drive all the way back to Toledo. It's like Lima's right in between the two. So
I'm almost a resident of Greenville 5 straight nights.
They had, it was in Lima back in 1890s. We did this 3 years in a row. We had rain. It was postponed, but back in the 1890s they had 5 straight days of rain, and it was a complete loss for the fair. They did rebound, but it does rain in here for some reason this time of year. It's like gets hot and rains.
Did Doug bring up the fact that I always wanted to announce at Lima?
Oh, congratulations, you should have said.
Well, Mr. Steiner, who owns Steiner Stock Farm here in Lima area. Al Mankey's the farm manager for years. But he called me back in, I guess had to be the early 70s or something like that. It was before Doug even took over all my county fairs, and wanted me to call the races here at the Allen County Fair. But at that time, Greenville was racing Saturday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, doubleheader Wednesday, doubleheader Thursday, and Friday afternoon. So I think it's 7 or 8 racing programs, and it was the same time as Lima, so I had to turn him down. But this year, knowing I was going to be at Greenville, Doug says, well, why don't you come up to Lima and call a race, and that can be another one on your list. So tonight was number 159. 158 was just a few days ago down at the Rock. Have you ever been to the Rock?
The Rock. You like that down there? Everyone loves the Rock.
You've been there then?
Oh yeah, love it.
You know, I can understand horsemen having problems with the track, but as far as an announcer was concerned, I don't think it really affects the announcer one way or another.
No.
I will say one thing: when they first come out of the upper turn coming at you, they're about 20 yards or 25 yards. They're coming straight at you. You really can't identify them because they change position so many times around that final turn, because you got some horses can make the turn, some of them can't.
There's a huge wall right there.
Yeah.
When you go into the turn, it's right, just a big rock.
Yeah.
But the people down there are great. They love. Yeah. It's a national historical site.
The fairgrounds.
The fairgrounds is, yeah. And that first turn is what all the third of a mile tracks used to be. They all were that third of a mile track.
Just seeing the first turn, I don't see the problem that they would have, because it really doesn't look that bad, but they say it is. I don't know.
Oh, you have to learn. As I said to Doug, you have to be at a 90-degree angle when you go on that first turn. But 7th race. I wonder if it's hot up in Ontario today. I have to give a shout out to Dave Cochran up there on the lake, the other side of Lake Erie. He's
the Dave Cochran I know.
You drove against, yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Boy, I haven't heard that name for years.
It's up there in Brocklehurst, Ontario. He told us here they come for the first race, post parade.
$406. Sponsored by Bindles Appliances of Lima, a field of 5. Number 1, Fancy Dragon, driven by Rocky Ward. Emmanuel Miller drives the 2, Forever High. Here's the 3, Lady 9K, Roy Burns drives. 4, Little Bit of Fran with Jeff Nysonger. And number 5, Holden Mama L, Hank Levan in her sulky.
Let's play show. Quinella back to M drive back to wagering. On 5 for the 7th race, 3 minutes.
And it's the post parade. Got Fancy Dragon, Rocky Ward owned and trained.
Get you up on your feet doing the twist this evening. Is that a possibility? I've got a couple. Okay, we'll keep going.
Fancy Dragon, Rocky Ward, trainer and driver. 7 starts with 2 wins, 159 and 4 at Piketon. Winner last time out, 2 minutes and 3/5 at Salina. The 2 is Forever High. Robert Rush, the trainer. Emmanuel Miller is the driver. 7 starts, the 2nd and 3rd. Last time out was at Northfield, and in non-winners of 1 finished 7th, timed in 59 and 2. The 3, Lady 9K. Roy Burns is the trainer and driver. 2 starts this season, finished 4th with many breaks and 6th with a few breaks. The 4-horse, Little Bit of Fran. Kim Daly is the trainer. Jeff Nysonger the driver. 5 starts with and a 3rd. 201 at Urbana back on August the 10th. And the 5, Holden Mama L. Hank Levan trains and drives. 14 starts, 1 win, 4 seconds, 2 thirds. 203 at Marysville. Raced at Salina, finished 3rd, timed in 202, 2/5. Field of 5. 2-year-old Philly Pacers in the 7th.
You mentioned the Rocky Ward. He's from Aiken, South Carolina.
I've never met, well, I don't think I've ever met him, even though I've gone to Aiken for probably 6 or 7 straight years for their matinee.
A little friend of mine, old Dave Ackerman down there. He's the old rebel, I call him. He's down in Aiken. Beautiful area, all horse. And of course, your friend, Jimmy Laurent.
I thoroughly enjoyed my trips to Aiken. 3 of those years that I went down, I actually stayed at Jimmy's home, and he'd keep me up until about midnight, maybe 12:30, 1 a.m. in the morning. He'd had so many stories, and he is a great storyteller.
Yep.
And I just hate to lose people that have so much history. But we know time goes on, and we certainly miss Jimmy Laurent. Here's Doug Ballinger with the 7th.
Here they come. Off stride, the 3, Lady 9K. And her off. Fancy Dragon sent right to the front. Forever High comes out in 2nd. Little Bit of Fran will take a tuck 3rd into the turn. Holden Mama L 4th. And Lady 9K is the trader 5th. Straight alignment. Going to the opening quarter. Fancy Dragon and Rocky Ward fronted by a length. Forever High right there 2nd. Racing 3rd. Little Bit of Fran. Holden Mama L is 4th. And trailing up field. Some 20 off the front is Lady 9K up the backside to the opening quarter. It's Fancy Dragon by a length and a half. Racing 2nd is Forever High. Little Bit of Fran. Next and 3rd is 4 lengths from the front. Holden Mama L is 4th, some 6 lengths. And then Lady 9K trails the field by the quarter in 30 and 2/5. Round the turn of the 3/8. It's Fancy Dragon by a length as they pass the stand for the first time. Forever High next. Little Bit of Fran racing 4th. Holden Mama L and Lady 9K trails the field. They're halfway home. Fancy Dragon the leader by a length. Forever High 2nd. 2 back to a Little Bit of Fran. Holden Mama L 4th. Lady 9K continues to trail. Half in a minute and 3/5 to the 5/8 they go. It's Fancy Dragon will guide them up the backside. Right there 2nd. Forever High. No movement as yet from Little Bit of Fran. 4th is Holden Mama L and Lady 9K trails. And here comes Jeff Nysonger with Little Bit of Fran. Now 3rd and moving up on the outside without cover. Holden Mama L to the inside. The leader, Fancy Dragon 2nd. Into the turn, Forever High. Little Bit of Fran closing in on the outside, holding Mama L at the 3/4 and 1:30 and 3/5. They circle the far turn. It's Rocky Ward and Fancy Dragon at the top of the stretch. Forever High is second. They're off the turn. They're on their way home. Fancy Dragon trying to take them all the way. Opens up with each and every stride. Fancy Dragon second. Forever High third. Little Bit of Fran. 1:59 3/5.
So it's Fancy Dragon, pillar to post, coast to coast.
From Aiken to Lima.
And taking a lifetime mark to boot. Third win and 8, or actually I don't know where the horse finished, Greenville on Friday night, but missing that line, but at least three of 8. Definitely probably, whether the horse won or not at Greenville, I'm not sure.
Well, they come by the half. They were 1, 2, 4, and they finished 1, 2, 4. Unofficial, of course.
Lady 9K for Roy Burns. Gave it up before the start again, so back to the drawing board with that 2-year-old filly by Enterprise.
Hippity hop to the barber shop. There we go. I got a Roger Houston roll of his eyes. Roger, you know they have a.
At least I have some hair.
But they have a poet laureate here. I talked with earlier in Allen County. He's called the Lima Rima. Oh. Returning now to the winner's circle, here's Fancy Dragon.
In front of the stands, moving into the winner's circle. Here's your winner of the 7th race. Second division, 2-year-old filly Pace, Ohio Colt Racing Association, for $6,406, sponsored by Bindles Appliances of Lima. Number 1, Fancy Dragon, the 2-year-old bay filly by Fear the Dragon. Out of the Western Hanover mare, Fancy filly, third of the season for the winner, Fancy Dragon. Rocky Ward, Aiken, South Carolina, owns, trains, and drives the winner. 1:59 3/5. Lifetime mark for the winner, Fancy Dragon.
Again, plaudits to the track crew. Another lifetime mark. 2-year-old filly Pace.
Results are official. Number 1, Fancy Dragon, the winner. 2 Forever High 2. 389K 5. 4 Little Bit of Fran 3. 5 Holden Mama L 4. 1:59 3/5. 30 and 2/5. A minute 3/5. 1:30 and 3/5. 1:25 3 4 on the bottom. 8th race in about 12 minutes.
With the last quarter, 29 seconds flat. We're coming up to race number 8. This is the 3-year-old filly trotters. We have 5 in it to win it. Purse of $5,593. This is the second division. We'll be back after these messages.
Do you want your horse to shine in the winner's circle? Feed DAC oil. It makes a world of difference.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm with 500 acres of pasture for breeding to boarding and on-site veterinarian care, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Pet Rock, Long Tom, and Bit of a Legend. Midland Acres, doing our best to bring you the best.
With more than 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. Much of that value comes from standardbred horse owners, breeders, trainers, and drivers who participate in the sport of harness racing. The mission of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is to preserve, protect, promote, and serve the entire standardbred industry in Ohio and beyond. To learn more about the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, go to ohha.com. That's ohha.com.
Back here at the Allen County Fair, we get to the 8th race on our card. Ohio Colt Racing Association 3-year-old filly trot, second division, $5,593. The 3, CS Irene, Jeff Nysonger drives. CS Irene, Jeff Nysonger. Kevin Snyder drives the 4, Longtime Love. Kevin Snyder on the 4, Longtime Love. 3-year-old filly trotters, and
we got sponsored by Cool and Charm of Lima, Ohio.
We have one maiden in this race. Actually, the very first lifetime starts throughout the 4 qualifiers. Long time love. Long Tom out of
that Miami Valley 2-2-2. She has the speed, but now she's been making breaks and has been distanced. This would be her first lifetime start.
3-year-old filly by Long Tom out of For the Love of Lindy. Action LA the 1, Scott Cisco drives for Virgil Morgan Jr., 1 of 15 this year. $10,000. Took the record at Xenia in 2:01. The 2 is Mia Hill. Ed Greeno Jr. trains and drives, 1 of 17. 10,000 in earnings. Won a qualifier at Miami Valley, 158-3. Has shown breaks in the last 3 efforts. They put the trotting hobbles on, and she's made breaks.
That's tough with. They still make breaks with trotting hobbles. Maybe it's time for the pacing hobbles. We don't know.
The 3 horse, the CS Irene, Mike Pohemus, the Jeff Nysonger, 2 of 14, 15,000 in earnings, 201-4 at Urbana. Raced at Greenville, but before that, had back-to-back wins, Urbana and Troy. Told you about Longtime Love. The 5, Context Fashion. Chris Beaver, the trainer. Emmanuel Miller is the driver. Won 4 of 15. $81,000 already this season.
That is a chunk of change, Mark. 54-2 at Scioto. This is a Buckeye blooded horse sale, $13,000 purchase, and has made lifetime $111,000 with 24 starts, 4 wins, 1/3, 6 seconds. That's the powerhouse in the field. Emmanuel Miller is in the sulky. And it's Marlon Yoda of Mount Eaton, Ohio, and Evans Cattle Company of New Carlisle, Ohio. Mr. Houston could, with Evans Cattle Company, that's an interesting.
Not familiar with it.
I know a lot of. I ran into the chicken farmer the other day. He was a big fan of harness racing, and it's so many people from the walks of life, different walks of life, enjoy the racing. I like How's this for a nice pick? Context Faction with 111.
Really?
I do like that one. And
Really?
Has Beaver always had this horse?
It's 5-1.
Has Chris Beaver always had this horse?
They who?
Chris Beaver.
Chris Beaver.
Has he always had this horse?
I think we
so.
might have done that horse on Freshman Focus as well 2 years ago, or last year, I mean.
Did we?
As a 2-year-old. I thought I remembered a context horse. Maybe, no, actually, no. I just asked whoever, who's the guy that worked for him that's not anymore?
Bob.
No.
Roberts.
Yes. Okay.
He went back to college, buddy.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay,
he's,
good for him.
I think at Capital University there in Columbus.
I mentioned something about that horse because he had trained it and it was wearing a choke plate and stuff, and he said that, she's just
For some
hot.
reason,
Anybody been married for at least 30 years?
I must have him mixed up with something.
Would
But
you either
I thought
look at your loved
Hank
one
Levan
or
drove this
imagine
horse
your loved
once
one
last
sitting
year or
next to you and
something.
look at them and sing this song along with
Oh,
them?
do you have drivers for the 3 and 4? I do not. Sorry.
Hey, they're playing your song. He's playing your song.
Right out behind us, there's a stage. They were going to have somebody on that finished second in America's Got Talent, which I've never seen that show, but it must be pretty good, I would imagine. Semi-finalist, they announced him as. They have a local news station. They have a whole TV set, news station set up down here at the other end of the grandstand, like they're broadcasting from here.
Of the 3-year-old filly trot for $5,593. Sponsored by Randy and Kim Haynes, Cool Wind Farm of Lima. These are the horses. Number 1 is Action Alley. The driver, Scott Cisco. To Mia Hill at Greeno Jr. drives. Jeff Nysunger drives the 3, CS Irene. Number 4, Longtime Love with Kevin Snyder. And number 5, Context Fashion, Emmanuel Miller in the sulky. Win place show, Quinella Exact.
I think these drivers are getting to the point where they know to parade in order now.
It's a vast improvement. And thanks to you, Roger. Actually, you made sure they get out there. It's tough, but you have to get after them because it does when you're darting from here to there to there.
You know, so many. I don't know. I had somebody criticize the other day. It says, we got more important things to worry about than post parades. That might be true. But, and a big but.
It's easier on the fans because they want to see the horses.
And it's easier on Matt Clark.
It sure is. I actually said something, I think, last night to Susan. We were talking about, betting and stuff, and I would always watch the post parade and then, finally go in. So, I think a lot of people are probably like that. They like to see a good post parade.
I know even the very first year that we broadcast races by the OHHA, a lot of people criticized me. What's he doing getting on these drivers for the post parade? Well, I'm sorry.
And you hollered at me when I was way back in the barn. I was Tom Pye, bring Roman nose to the.
If you're going to have a professional sport, act professional.
I mean, you don't see it at the big tracks. Scioto, Northfield, they're always in order.
Don't get me started on the major tracks because as soon as they come out of the paddock, it's hell bent for leather.
Well, and the thing, too, is on the major tracks, if they interrupt the post parade, they get fined, So it's not your rules. They should try and keep it at least a semblance of order. What I don't like is having going by quick, take into the horse a little bit.
Side by side.
Yeah. Okay. But they're lining up behind the Michael Webkenberg starting gate.
I thought we had a new starter there for a minute.
Philly Trotters, field of 5 for $5,593. Sponsored by Cool Wind Farm. Brandy and Kim Haynes are all in behind the gate. Here they come. Gate breaker, the 2, Mia Hill. Enter off from the inside, Action Ellie to the outside. Context Fashion racing to the front end. Coming out in third, CS Irene. Around the turn, that is Longtime Love. Trailing the field, Mia Hill at the opening 8th. Context Fashion has the lead and will take him up the backside. Leading Action Ellie by a length. Then it's 2 back to CS Irene. Then we got a gap to Context Fashion, who is off stride, and Mia Hill. That gate breaker is the Trader way back. Straight alignment to the opening quarter. Context Fashion has the lead for Emmanuel Miller. Sitting in the pocket second as he move into the turn. Action Ellie and Scott Cisco. CS Irene and Jeff Nysunger opening quarter in 31. Context Fashion is fourth and trailing the field. Mia Hill. They trot to the 3/8 mark. The leader, Context Fashion. Right there second. Nose to helmet is Action Ellie. 3 off the front is CS Irene. Racing next, Longtime Love. Mia Hill is the Trader. They're halfway home. Context Fashion has the lead. She's looking for season win number 5. Action Ellie right there second. CS Irene trots third. Longtime Love is fourth, and Mia Hill is the Trader. They're by the half. They're on their way to the 5/8. They're halfway home in 101 2/5. Across the backside they trot. Context Fashion has the lead by 2. Action Ellie is second. CS Irene is third. Mia Hill on the outside. Longtime Love to the inside is now the Trader. They near 3/4, and Context Fashion opens up at 2 3/4. Action Ellie is next. CS Irene racing third around the far turn. 3/4, 1:31 4 with an 1/8 of a mile to trot. Context Fashion the leader. Off the turn, Action Ellie is second. CS Irene third. Less than an 1/8 of a mile to trot. Coming to the line, Context Fashion, Emmanuel Miller to take the second division of the 3-year-old filly trot. Action Ellie second. CS Irene will finish third. The mile 2:01 1/5.
With the last quarter, 29 2.
For Emmanuel Miller, that is win number 24 this season. He does not limit his drives to Chris Beaver horses, but he gets an awful lot of catch drivers at the fairs as well.
He's picked up quite a few this year. He's got a 150 starts, 23 wins, 33
Look at that UDRS.
322. It's a nice average. Chris Beaver, incidentally, his training average, 321. Good mile at unofficial 513, and Context Fashion was just toying with the field.
Second win of the night for Chris Beaver. He's the first trainer to double up on tonight's card. You know, this horse has now won almost $84,000 this year. All these starts at the fairs here of late must have been in a big race early. Oh, was this horse in the next generation? Maybe.
Oh, probably I think it won the first leg of the Sire Stakes, and it went for like 100.
Oh, okay.
That is 25 starts and $115,000.
Now, is that Clifton Bell in the winner's circle?
It looks like, yep.
Yeah.
Cool Wind Farm of
They split
Lima.
the drives tonight for the Beaver stable.
Here's the way they finish.
Oh, look at that! Did you get that on camera?
Oh,
Give
yeah.
him a 10!
Hill 4, 3, CS Irene 3, 4, Long Time Love 5. 5 contacts fashion, a winner, 201 and 1.
I can't believe
31,
it.
101 and 2, 131 and 4.
Now,
2, 4, 3, 5, 1 on the bottom.
did you hear about the foot race down at Troy?
No.
Apparently, Emmanuel Miller, Clifton Bell, and I don't know who else exactly was in it. Some folks threw in $50 a piece, and they were racing for a total of $150. And for whatever reason, Clifton Bell didn't participate, but Emmanuel Miller ended up winning. He was in the starting blocks and then didn't run for some reason. Clifton Bell didn't. Yeah, so if he could do backflips out there, I can't imagine he couldn't out sprinted those guys. Manny Miller looks pretty quick though too.
I wish they'd have done it in front of the horse instead of behind him, so we could have had a clearer picture.
We'll see if
that was a perfect backflip.
Well, yeah, we'll have to get a encore. Go with the Cabano.
I mean, instead of having a singer during the night, we'll have Clifton do gymnastics events.
Is that Randy Haynes there? Randy Haynes here.
Randy Haynes.
Give him a shout out for
Randy and Kim Haynes of Cool Wind Farms here in Lima.
He helped put in a ton of work on this racetrack to get these races going tonight as fast as they are.
See if that
Randy.
and well, that's the 8th race here at Allen County, here in Lima. We'll be back with the 9th, the 3-year-old colt trot. This is the 3rd division, and we have a couple of tough ones in here, and we shall return after these few messages.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is a full-service standardbred breeding facility that specializes in stallion management. Cool Winds Farm stands the popular Dancin' Yankee, whose first crop of 2-year-olds are now racing. Cool Winds also welcomed Western Fame to their stallion barn, who won nearly $2 million competing against the best pacers of his generation. Be sure to inspect the Cool Winds yearlings at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway on Friday, September 15th.
Sun's out, guns out, hot summer fun.
Hot summer fun. Hot summer fun.
Back here at the Allen County Fair. This is the penultimate race of the night. Ohio Colt Racing Association 3-year-old colt pace, the 3rd division, $4,233. Field of 6 to go poster. If you have a racing program, the only change is number 6. You got to watch how you say this.
Uh-oh.
The horse's name is He's Half Naked. And if you say it a certain way, you're liable to think that driver David Ward
is half naked.
Now, that's not the case. That's the name of the horse.
I've heard you call like that. David Ward, he's half naked.
There was a horse race at the Meadows. Dane Snyder had the horse. And the horse, I won't tell the name. I don't want to tell the name of the horse yet. But he put Sherry Keith. Now, that was Lou Keith's wife, who also drove occasionally at the Meadows. And he put her up to drive this horse. Just so he could give me the opportunity as an announcer to say, and it's Sherry Keith with all of her clothes off.
And the crowd surged towards it.
I mean, they came out of the 2-minute club and everything to see it. I mean, come on. She won the race, by the way.
That's funny.
I don't know if we're going to see David Ward.
We could do without that. Though we have Flying Fitz on the rail. He's a Racing Hill 3-year-old, got a mark at 155 at Scioto last year, or he's picked up 67,000 lifetime. Coming off a 54 and 3 mile at Scioto. He win at Croton, which is a good mile, 159 and 3. Hometown boy Chris Page drove him at Croton. That's a good mile. This year he's 14 starts, 3 wins, 1 second, 2 thirds, $23,779 on his card. He was bred, owned, and trained by John Fitzgerald of Marysville, Ohio. Flying Fritz with Drew Neal. Trooper L is number 2. Hank Levan, trained and driven, is for the Levan's Fables for Woodstock, Ohio. The Dome of All Racing Enterprises of Sylvania, Ohio, and Megan Levan. Trooper L has 5 wins, 6 seconds, 3 thirds, $38,277. A mark of 53 and 1 at Northfield. 24 starts this year, and has on the program, shows nothing but second, win, second. That's one you like to see. Here they are.
3-year-old colt pace for $4,233. Sponsored by Fiber Care Carpet Cleaning. Field is 6. Number 1, Flying Fitz. Drew Neal drives. Hank Levan, the 2. Trooper L. Number 3, Too High with Jeff Nysanger. 4, TT Jericho, Alex Hawk driving. Number 5, Tide Has Turned, driven by Mark St. Louis Jr. And number 6, He's Half Naked. David Ward in the Socky. Win place show.
Late double weight train on 9 and 10. Mark St. Louis Jr. will drive the 1, 6 Rudy in the 10. Scratch the 4, Jimmy J.
As you were saying, Mr. Pop.
Number 3 is Too High. Jeff Nysanger driving for trainer Ed Bibler of Nob Hill High out of a Mommy Robin Q by Western Ideal. 6 starts this year and hasn't seen the winner's circle yet. Has 2 thirds. Has been timed in 2 minutes and beat 2 minutes the last 3 starts. He's due. Number 4 is TT Jericho, a 3-year-old gelding by Beauville Powerful. Trouble Talk by Badlands Hanover. Brian Roebuck owns and trains this gelding. Alex Hawk in the sulky has a mark of 53 and 4 at Scioto, and 15 starts, 2 wins, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, 19,000. Is over 44,000 lifetime earned in 28 starts. Was a Buckeye Classic yearling of $7,000. Number 5 is Mark St. Louis Jr. aboard Tide Has Turned. Stacy Curry. Trains and part owner with Thunder Racing Stables from Brecksville, Ohio. 13 starts, 5 wins, 3 thirds, 3 seconds, 1 third, 31,000. A mark of Bing Bang Boom. 52 and 1 at Northfield. And she shows on her card win, second, win. Was 9th, they went in 51 at Scioto. And then a win, and she was second last week at Salina in 57 and 4. Number 6, He's Half Naked. Western Hanover 3-year-old out of Naked at the Beach by Some Beach Somewhere. 12 starts, no wins, 1 second, 1 third, does have a mark of 53 in Fort Scioto last year and did pick up 39,000. So it just hasn't coming around this year. Better put some clothes on. He's half naked. Trainer Mike Pohamus for the Golden Goose Stables of Cincinnati, Ohio, and Matt Rowe of Urbana. Dave Ward in the sulky. I do like Tide Has Turned. How's that for a pick?
Can you think of a world champion horse that had a bad name? To me, I don't want to take anything against this. He's half naked. But can you imagine he's half naked being a world champion?
Yeah, I always say.
You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah. But I always say, be careful what you name them because they might be a good horse, right? And you don't want a low-step name. You want something that speaks world champion, right? You don't.
They're at the gate. Gates rolling.
They're on the way to the post. This is the 9th 3-year-old Colt Pace, Ohio Colt Racing Association. We're live from Allen County Fair and luxurious Lima, Ohio.
Of course, I'm probably thinking some people probably didn't like Wiggle It, Jiggle It.
Trying to think other horses that
Yeah.
had bad names.
Well, maybe because this horse was so good, I didn't think the name was bad. I don't know.
4,213. Much by fiber gear, Kirby Plain. Oh, gate of 6.
They're all in behind the gate. Here they come. Enter off from the inside. Flying Fitz for the lead. Trooper L comes out in second. Too High is third. Taking a tuck. TT Jericho up the inside. Tide is turned, and he's half naked on the outside. Will back off and take a seat. They're in numerical order as they race to the opening 8. Flying Fitz and Drew Neal. Trooper L and Hank Levan are right there second. 2 back to Too High and Jep Nicehunger. Linked to TT Jericho. Alex Hawk. Tide is turned. Mark St. Louis second to last and sixth and last. He's half naked in David Ward. They're 10 from the front. They race by the opening quarter and Flying Fitz has the lead. Trooper L right there second by the opening quarter and 30 seconds around the turn. Too High is third. Here comes Alex Hawk and TT Jericho. They're first up. They're fourth. Now third on the outside. And Tide is turned and Mark St. Louis will move to the outside and pick up the cover of TT Jericho. And he's half naked as a trader. 4 in, 2 out. They're at the half. Flying Fitz by a length. Trooper L is second. TT Jericho on the outside. Too High locked in. Halfway home. 59 and 1 to the 5/8 they go. On the outside, Tide has turned. He'll have to tip 3 wide. He's half naked, trails the field. Across the backside they go. Flying Fitz has got every call. Trooper L right there second. TT Jericho is third. On the outside, Tide has turned. Too High to the inside. Trailing the field, he's half naked. They're into the far turn. At the 3/4 in 128 and 1. Flying Fitz with the lead. Coming to the outside. Trooper L with an 1/8 of a mile to go. TT Jericho is third. It's Flying Fitz on the outside. Trooper L. The battle's on, but battling on the inside. Flying Fitz. Flying Fitz. Gate to wire for Drew Neal. 156 2/5.
Motoring in that one. 56 and 2, Flying Fitz. Drew Neal gets the win. I do believe, let me just see here. Yes, it is. You know what's unusual about tonight's card so far?
What's that?
9 races, 9 different winning drivers. Doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't.
I hadn't seen Drew Neal yet tonight. I think that was the first I'd seen him.
I think he only had, I think, one drive tonight.
Did he really?
Yeah.
He's been doing really well up on the OFRC circuit.
That is his 31st win this season for Drew Neal.
Oh, Flying Fitz. Say the John, he's down at Marysville. He does a good job of the track down there as well. .56 and 2.5 and 59 last half.
Did you get the 3/4 time?
Didn't get the 3/4.
Yeah.
In the bar area, that's 10th and final. Ring 'em right on.
It's also been a good night for the front end. Horses going wire to wire.
Flying Fritz, Racing Hill out of Bums by Jenna's Beach Boy.
Back in front of the stands, winner of the night.
The third division of the Ohio Colt Racing Association 3-year-old colt base for $4,233, sponsored by Fiber Care Carpet Cleaning. Number 1, Flying Fitz. The 3-year-old big gelding by Racing Hill out of the Jenna's Beach Boy mare. Bumums, 4th of the season. John Fitzgerald of Marysville trains and drives, or trains and owns. Drew Neal drives the winner. 156 to 5th for Flying Fitz. Here's the way they finished the night. The 1, Flying Fitz, the winner. 2, Trooper L2. The 3, Too High 4. 4, TT Jericho 3. 5, Tide Has Turned 5. Number 6, He's Half Naked 6. 156 to 5th. 30 seconds, 59 and 1, 128 and 1. 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, 6 on the bottom.
With the last quarter, 28 and 1.
Final half, 57 and 1. Well, that was the penultimate, which means next up will be the final race of the night. It is a Dunlap Renner Memorial Signature Series Pace. Got a purse of $5,800. Mark St. Louis Jr. drives the 1. Big Booty Rudy. Scratch the 4. Jimmy James. 7 to go postward in the nightcap. We'll be back with that race in just a few moments.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1974, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com. Most orders shipped that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Your animals provide unconditional love. When they hurt, you want the best care available to help them enjoy life again. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center is here for you and for them. From heart disease to cancer, diabetes to broken bones, and 24-hour emergency services, Ohio State's team of experts make a difference in the lives of animals and the family members who love them. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
We're back as we're winding down to the final race of the night here at the Allen County Fair. I want to give a special thanks with the folks here that to the following for the assisting with the racetrack preparation. Steve Schaefer, who's the director of the maintenance, and his crew. Al Mankey, Dennis Shaner, Randy Haynes. We also got special thanks to Tom Owl family of the dealerships, the use of the pickup trucks that pull the drags around here. They did a great job on that. We've seen these last quarters in 28 seconds, and good miles, new lifetime marks. We want to talk also the Harness Racing Speed Committee here at Allen County Fair 2023. Dennis Fricke is Director of Racing. Kevin Schmeidbusch, thank you.
Schmeidbusch, I think.
Huh?
Let me see that. Schmeidbusch? I don't know if that's how you say it. That's how I
They got a big sign
read.
with sales reading over there.
Okay.
Sierra Ackerman, Dave Nosbaum, Craig Rex, Al Mankey, Bruce Fricke, Randy Haynes, Doug Hilty. It's good to see old New England. They're going through these foreign names to me. They're foreign to me, but they should have a little how to pronounce it. But they did a great job here. Also, they were not.
That was.
Yeah, they did good job to Caleb Berkey. As Roger says, he got 45 songs in his repertoire. That's probably just.
Well, no, I don't know how many he's got.
That's just for tonight.
He's got them in a notebook there, and he keeps flipping pages, and it looks to be a couple inches thick.
So for the 10th, Roger, I was as part of one of my who'd I like in this 10th race. Dave Ward had Big Booty Rudy and Torg Seelster, and I said, well, I was torn between who was the best in there. I'll let David Ward choose for me. He chose Torg Seelster over Big Booty Rudy. So, for you handicappers out there, my pick for tonight will be Torg Seelster in this race. Let's go down from the rail out. It's Big Booty Rudy. Randy Smith trained for Jessica and Amelia Smith of Xenia, Ohio. The Big Bad John 7-year-old. He's got 154 lifetime starts, 25 wins, 31 seconds, 24 thirds, $270,000 earned. I believe, I might be mistaken as usual, but I believe Big Booty Rudy, Jessica and Amelia, they claimed him for $30,000, which is I believe he's a track record holder at Bucyrus of 153-1, as a mark of Dayton of 150-4. Nice horse.
Look at his earnings this year compared to last year.
Oh, wow.
It's almost identical at $53,000 with 6 less starts.
Yeah. The number two is Fernando, a 9-year-old by Delmarvius. Has 194 starts, 28 wins, 20 seconds, and 18 thirds, $237,000. Mark of Hoosier Park of 150. Larry Finn trainee, Lucas Harper in the sulky. Now, Torrid Seelster is a 10-year-old by Shadow Play. Philip Groves of Sydney, Ohio, owns and trains him. Class horse, 254 starts, 43 wins, 40 seconds, 33 thirds, $337,998.
I'm anxious to see how Doug pronounces the 2 horse.
They will race, but will be out shortly. And these are the horses. Number 1, Big Booty Rudy, the driver Mark St. Louis Jr. Number 2, Fernando with Lucas Harper. 3, Torg Seelster, David Ward drives. 4, Scratch. Number 5, Party Boy Hill, Jeff Neislonger. Hank Levan, the 6, Mystical Rock. Number 7, 2 o'clock, Johnny Pierce Henry. And the 8, She's All Jacked Up, will be out shortly. Drew Neal in her sulky. Scratch the 4, Jimmy James. Hank Levan, the 6. Mark St. Louis, the 1.
Play show for Alex Jackson. Drive back. Coach Todd.
No, how do you spell Fernando?
Oh, you're right. You know, at first glance, I thought he did it perfect. Like I didn't know how you were going to pronounce it, but you're absolutely right.
The horse Fernando.
Yeah, Fernando.
Fernando, but it's not Fernando.
No, it's definitely not. I totally missed it too.
Does it have a?
I hate to correct you, Mr. Pie, but
Fernando. I know a dark and secret place.
Out of the Stallion Del Marvelous. Silver
Fernando.
Street, real artist, Mark Akins.
You know, I even spelled it Fernando on the graphics here.
Oh!
Well, here's an easy one. Party Boy Hill. He's a 4-year-old by Racing Hill. Peach Party Hill, Some Beach Somewhere. Nice horse, Some Beach Somewhere. Larry Finn trainee for Chad B. Stone of Jamestown. Just nice longer in the sulky. Has 6 wins and 25 starts this year. 2/3, only $8,000. But he does have a mark of 53 at Scioto last year. And his 12 wins and 54 starts. He shows 4 in a row. Marysville 57-4, 56 at Xenia, or Eaton, 59 at Xenia, and 56-3 at Chillicothe. Party Boy Hill.
My good friend, the breeder of this horse, Tom Hill from over in England, races a number of horses and is very successful in it there and also here in the States.
His Mystical Rock is a 10-year-old by Rockin' Image, 171 lifetime starts, 31 wins, 30 seconds, and 23 thirds. Has a total of $401,593. Took a mark as a 4-year-old of 151 and 3 at Hoosier. Can't see. I'm blurring out. The lights are going dark. They're going the way to the gate. This is our finale here at Allen County Fair for Monday. Tomorrow we'll return, same time, same place, at 6:30.
Well, we got 9 races tomorrow. Yeah, 9 races tomorrow night.
9 races. And also,
Michael Langer will be with us tomorrow night.
Well, will
Michael
Langdon, sure.
Yeah. You're not here tomorrow night, are you? Yeah.
I'll be at Greenville. I'll be back to haunt you at Greenville.
Wednesday night or what?
I think Wednesday. This is the finale.
Enter off from the inside. Big Booty Rudy for the lead. Tariq Seelster for NATO to the inside. Party Boy Hill comes out in 4th. Racing 5th. Mystical Rock 6th into the turn. That's 2 o'clock Johnny, and she's all jacked up. The early trader up the backside in single file. They follow the lead of Big Booty Rudy right there 2nd. Tariq Seelster for NATO racing 3rd. Party Boy Hill is next in 4th. Racing 5th. Mystical Rock, 2 o'clock Johnny, and the trader, she's all jacked up, about 8 from the front end. Single file by the opening quarter. Big Booty Rudy takes him by the opening quarter and even 29 seconds. Tariq Seelster gets the 2-hole trip. Fernando racing 3rd. Coming to the outside. Here comes Party Boy Hill. Jeff Nysonger first up. Moving to the outside. Mystical Rock to pick up the cover of Party Boy Hill. 4 in, 3 out at the half. Big Booty Rudy the leader. Party Boy Hill up on the outside into the turn. Racing next as they race around the turn. That's Tariq Seelster, 59-4 to the 5/8 they go. For NATO, the inside 4th. On the outside, she's all jacked up. Down the backside, 2 o'clock Johnny. Cross the backside of the 3/4. The target, Big Booty Rudy. Racing on the inside, Tariq Seelster the outside. Party Boy Hill. into the far turn for Nato. Next and fourth, the leader at the 3/4 is Big Booty Rudy. They're at 3/4, 128 and 3. They circle the far turn. Big Booty Rudy still there. Coming to the outside, Turek Seelster. Party Boy Hill on the outside with an 1/8 of a mile to go. Big Booty Rudy. Turek Seelster on the outside. Big Booty Rudy. The winning time.
I thought they were going faster that first half. That was a snail's pace.
That was 59 and 4, right? Correct?
Right.
Well, there's a little Big Booty Rudy. I guess I'm not going to say that David Ward, he signed off on the wrong one. Big Booty Rudy come back again. That's his 5th win this year. A tough 7-year-old gelded by Big Bad John.
Oh, I loved it when Big Bad John was racing. Play that song. I can see it yet. Coming back to the winner's circle after winning the Little Brown Jug, and Jimmy Dean singing Big Bad John.
Big Booty Rudy.
The winning time, 157.
I did. Now, Randy Smith is originally from Maine.
Oh, really?
And in fact, we shipped down to Yonkers back his daughter, little Chrissy. She's probably about 3 years old. His mother, Linda Nelson.
Back in front of the stand, here's your winner. Up
The 10th. The Dunlap Runner Memorial Signature Series base for $5,800. Number 1, Big Booty Rudy. The 7-year-old bay gelding by Big Bad John. Out of the Artist Gate mare, Lima Daydream. Home with Jessica A. and Amelia J. Smith. The Xenia, Ohio, Randy Smith trains. Mark St. Louis Jr. in the sulky. The mile, 157. The Dunlap Runner Memorial blanket goes to the winner, the Signature Series pace. Big Booty Rudy, Mark St. Louis Jr. Here's the way they finished. Number 1, Big Booty Rudy, the winner. 2 for NATO, 6. 3 Turek Seelster, 2. 4 for Scratch, 5. Party Boy Hill, 4. 6 Mystical Rock, 7. 7 2 o'clock Johnny, 5. 8 She's All Jacked Up, 3. 157. 29, 59 and 4. 128 and 3. Top down 162, Scratch 4, 7, 5, 3 on the bottom.
Well, that wraps it up.
Well, 10 races, 10 winning drivers, 9 winning trainers. The only one to double up, Chris Beaver with 2. Gentlemen, I got a ride to catch, so I got to get out of here and get back to Greenville, Ohio.
Greenville, Ohio. We shall see you there on Wednesday. Tomorrow, Michael lands here, and
I'll be back again tomorrow night as well. So hope you'll join us again. Matt, you here tomorrow night?
I am. Yep.
We'll be back with more racing.
He's tethered to that machine over there. Thanks everyone for joining us. All you folks out there, we're glad you can be with us. See you tomorrow. If we don't see you on the TV, we'll see you at the races.
And don't forget, go to a county fair near you. Be there!
This has been Ohio County Fair Racing. Ohio County Fair Racing is presented by Midland Acres, thestable.ca, Cool Winds Farm, Big D Tack and Vet Supply, and the Ohio State University Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio County Fair Racing is a presentation of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.